If you're searching for a wrestling podcast that's filled with fun.
This is definitely Davey Boy Smith's finest fucking moment.
He goes, he fell on his ass. He fell on his ass.
Couple haters.
Couple haters.
That's David.
Wrestling nostalgia.
But I will take you back to May 26th, 1996. It was a stormy night. The wind was howling.
Latest pro wrestling news and rumours.
We've heard about the situations between WWE, Sasha Banks and Naomi.
And hilarious tangents.
Let's not tangent off. No Samoan spikes.
That's it.
Fucking tangents.
Then look no further. Join your hosts James, Stu and Jonny and subscribe to Top Turnbuckle Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Top Turnbuckle Podcast with me, Stu.
Me, James.
And me, Jonny.
And it's episode 15.
Yes, welcome to episode 15. Where Top Turnbuckle Podcast is coming in stronger and more unstoppable than a warrior. Top Turnbuckle Podcast is more immortal than a Hulkster, more buff than a Bagwell, more poetic than a genius, Lanny Poffo.
Who?
I'm leaving that in.
More exotic than Adrian Street,
Oh, I don't know about that.
more intergalactic than Suburban Commando,
Fuck off. Really?
more ravishing than Rude, more bizarre than Goldust, more slimier than Big Dick Johnson. And is slapping nuts harder than Double J ever could. Welcome one and all.
Most enough, Johnny's he writes like an essay on this, so he really takes his time on all this
He's got a full-on
stuff.
thesis of puns.
Oh, it's never ending. Never ending.
Oh, Christ.
I didn't think you was going to end. I thought, fucking hell, how many you got?
I cut some out, actually.
Funny though, so we'll go on an immediate tangent here.
Oh, yeah.
What about that Buff Bagwell poster we saw the other day?
Oh, from the WCW pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
We'll put an image.
I've not seen it, but I can guarantee it's probably horrendous.
It's absolutely horrendous.
Oh, handsome.
Handsome.
One of you's gone for handsome, one's gone for horrendous.
All the H's.
Right, well, on episode 15,
Yes.
what topics are we covering this month? Sorry.
I think it was my turn, wasn't it?
It was
It was.
indeed.
So, this is Dream Matches. And there are...
Well, dream matches and matches that never happen.
Yes, matches that never happened. So, in this, there was a rule that one of them had to be retired.
Yes.
So otherwise we'd go fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
We'd have Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles from WWE all over the place.
All mine are retired or passed away.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one... Now, this is weird, guys, because we actually thought that King of the Ring was going to be in February time, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
Just before WrestleMania,
Yeah.
but that hasn't happened. But we are still going to go with the King of the Ring theme, and that's... You always have to wait for it to do that little cheek. It is the best moments from King of the Ring, any King of the Ring, and the worst moments from King of the Ring.
Indeed.
So over to you guys.
Actually, before we jump into the dream matches, I'm going to go on with a tangent here.
Ooh,
Really.
we don't ever have them.
What's the weirdest dream you've ever had?
Fucking hell, Johnny.
Where the fuck did that come from?
He's been doing this recently on the page. There was something about wrestling dreams the other day.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
I've had a couple of weird dreams recently.
I'm
the weirdest dream
really worried where this is going.
It's not sexual.
Good.
Don't worry. The weirdest dream I ever remember, though, was when I was younger. I was in my bedroom and there was this wall made of Lego and I was behind it and there was another wall made of Lego and Freddy Krueger was behind it. And we were both throwing tennis balls at each other, trying to knock each other's wall down. Shall I leave that there?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm not even going there.
I, in all honesty, I tend not to really remember my dreams.
But the reason I mention this is because I had a dream of old Sugar Lips over there, James.
Sugar Lips?
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Oh, I did, yeah. From what I remember, is I was in this shop. It was like a charity shop, but it was in America, right? And this goes on to another time. There was pants in there, right?
Oh God, are we back to pants again?
We are back to pants.
Right.
And I don't know who was on the pants. There was either a picture. I think it might have been a picture of Dan Reed. Okay, because we've been speaking about him quite a bit recently.
Hi to our listener Dan Reed.
Yes, hello Dan Reed. But then I remember Elvis appeared. Okay, and there was all of these.
What the fuck do you eat before bed?
I don't know. I think I had some cheese. But yeah, you had these pants in this charity shop. Elvis was about. There was these soldiers with guns. And
they had Dan Reed's face on them.
I think so. Yeah. So here we go.
Okay.
Is that the end of it then, Jonny? Is that?
Sorry,
all right.
I want to clear that out.
Well,
there was more to it, but I don't remember the rest.
I don't know what to say.
Neither do I.
I feel like
it's sort of open-ended as well, isn't it? It's not even any fucking...
No.
I feel like you were wearing a leather headband.
Me?
Yeah. Like a karate sort of band around your head, but like a leather one.
Yeah, I'd look fucking cool. Do you know what? I want one of them when I'm in the club.
Just in the club.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? This is usually we get towards the end of an episode before this weird shit comes out.
That's Jonny, not me.
Why did I call you Sugar Lips as well?
Yeah, where did that come from?
Fuck no.
Because you can't call him Thunder Lips. There is only one Thunder Lips, and that is Thunder Lips himself. James has nicely showed me the poster with Buff Bagwell, and wow, it really is fucking horrendous.
He's very buff.
He's something.
Yeah,
I said
stuff.
that, but anyway.
Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with this, but it does look like an advertisement for a gay bar.
I was going to say
no
chapstick.
Yeah.
I reckon he's wearing a pair of pants with your face on.
Anyway, right, shall we start? Let's get back on topic. Shall we start? Who would like to go first for their top 3 dream matches or matches that never happened?
So I'm not going to.
You're not going first this time?
No.
All right, I'll do it for a change.
Go for it.
It's very rare that I go first on these things. As always with mine, I will go in order of preference, and I'm going to start with number 3. Mine are all matches that could have happened, but were eventually dropped. My first one comes from TNA.
Okay.
From June 2011, and the storyline was going to be that Mick Foley buys the TNA X Division.
Okay.
Wow.
He has recently talked about this on his podcast, Foley is Pod, and revealed that he was approached by writer Scott Fishman with a draft storyline that would involve him purchasing the TNA X Division, to which Foley had quoted, "Oh man, I'm in." And clearly he was up for the idea, and I think Foley being in charge of the X Division would have been a great storyline. The X Division was amazing as it was, but can you imagine his involvement in upping the games even more?
What year was this?
2011.
Okay.
I was watching, I think I was in and out of TNA around this time.
I've gone sadly, and I absolutely loved TNA.
This when Foley actually started with TNA, this idea was first given to him then, and was the main catalyst for him signing with TNA. He loved the idea, thought it was great. Unfortunately, it never happened. The storyline was eventually dropped, and obviously with persistency from him trying to get the idea up and running, and actually into the main storylines on the show, he was quite disgruntled by it and eventually asked for his release.
I think, guys, that we will do a TNA episode.
Oh, absolutely.
Just thinking that, yeah.
Because TNA was... It's not talked about a lot now, really, and it had a massive impact at one point. Literally.
Nice
pardon the pun.
No, you're right. It did, though. It really did.
It's mad to think it's been going 21 years.
Yeah. So there you go. That's short and sweet. Yeah, it is one of those what ifs. Because you got to think at that time for TNA with the X Division personally, and I'm pretty sure, James, I know you felt the same way. The X Division is what made that.
Yeah, it really, really did.
It was brilliant. I don't know what you think, Jonny.
Yeah, definitely. I always liked the 6-sided ring as well.
Yeah, I did.
I always thought that was different.
Yeah.
Made it stand out more.
It gave TNA that uniqueness.
Yeah.
I was just a massive fan of TNA when it was around, I'd say, 2004-05.
Yeah.
And you had Elix Skipper. Chris Harris is someone who no one talks about. He ruined his career, didn't he? Because he tried to go to WWF and it didn't work out. Do you remember him, Johnny?
I do, yes. I think he had
Wildcat Chris Harris.
I think they put him in the new ECW and then it didn't work out. And
Monty Brown was good in there as well.
I really like Monty Brown.
One that I always loved for the X Division was Suicide.
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant.
Which was
absolutely
Christopher
brilliant.
Daniels, wasn't it? Under the Mask.
I believe so. Wasn't there some storyline?
Wasn't there something involving Hogan as well?
Yeah, there was something.
It was Austin Aries.
Yes. That's what I remember about it, where it went off track.
Yeah.
I remember Austin Aries being under there for a
He
storyline.
was great I loved him in TNA. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, he was good. I kind of gone out of it. I felt it lost its soul when Hogan come in and Bischoff. I thought it really lost its soul. It had a lot of independent stars. Yeah. And they were young and they were really, really ambitious to put on a great matches.
9 times out of 10, you'd always say, especially like their pay-per-views and sometimes the house shows, it was always the X Division that was talked about. You know, those opening matches or that mid-card match that was always the X Division, and it was that kind of holy shit moment. You know, the X Division matches were fucking brilliant. And like I said, can you imagine Foley being involved with that?
I'm surprised that WWE or no one else, I won't just say WWE, I know it annoys people, but no one else on a bigger scale has used those ropes.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you had to get the X?
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Johnny?
Yeah, it was good.
They were great ideas.
They done loads of moves off the top of it and all sorts.
They were so unique, those matches, just so entertaining.
I think we'll do an episode on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't they even go to do the Monday night? They went opposite Raw as well, didn't they?
They were really cooking at one point. Around about the time where WWE was beginning to struggle, around about the 2005 sort of time, where it was not doing very well. Like, people were not resonating with the product like they used to.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact at that time I was watching TNA. I wasn't watching WWE because you had Styles on there and you had Joe, Daniels, all the names we just mentioned, and they were absolutely delivering
upcoming
bangers.
John Moxley.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was in CCW, wasn't he?
Oh, he was in...
He was around somewhere, possibly.
Mox.
But yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, we should definitely do an Impact for TNA.
I think so.
At some point.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you go.
Definitely.
There's my first one. Number 3.
That's good.
Boom.
Boom.
Who's next?
Okay, I'm going to go with Johnny as well on this one. So you should know what this is, Johnny.
Yeah.
I think this one's a no-brainer. Now, I'm coming from the facts of both of these individuals in their prime, because maybe they may have met around 97. And I really want to be careful with anyone out there who catches me out. It's The Rock and Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
That's got WrestleMania written all over it.
Yeah. This is crazy that he never actually... I did look into it to make sure there was nothing anywhere.
And the rumours are they didn't get on.
Yeah. From what I heard was...
Sorry, go on.
Mainly
I was going to say,
wasn't it?
It's fucking mental that they've never met.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues when Rocky first arrived in WWF, and it was reported that Shawn wasn't the nicest to be around, and Shawn had disrespected his grandmother.
Yeah, now we talked about this. I remember, because I read Rock's book, and I don't know if it was Shawn Michaels, it was certainly Ric Flair involved. Something happened years ago. And I don't know if Shawn was involved. It was like sort of like an inter-promotional thing where his mum was doing something in her territory.
Right.
And they disrespected her. And he, at a really young age, stood up to him or something like that and was really angry or shouted out, you're fucking over my grandmother, basically.
Right.
I think it was his grandmother who did it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, but... There's obviously them stories about Michaels really being bad around about 97, 98, and they did not meet. It is such a shame because as Michaels comes back in 2002, The Rock's going out.
Yeah, and Shawn actually went and wanted to have the match, but Rock still he hadn't forgiven
Held
him
the
for what
grudge.
he'd done before. Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
We don't know the full story,
No,
but
no.
it's one of them dream matches. Actually, when you look at it, they're both WWE guys.
Yeah. It could have easily main evented any pay-per-view,
Yeah.
especially WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I just think it's one that people don't think of
Yeah.
when it's so glaringly obvious in front of you. Can you imagine them both at their peak having that match?
What Shawn would you have gone for? What year would you have seen?
I would have gone for the heel Shawn.
97 time? No, was it 90? Yeah, about 97.
Yeah, I would have gone for the proper heel DX Shawn
Yeah.
against the People's Champ 2000 Rock.
Yeah.
Can I
Makes
just
sense.
interject quickly?
Yeah.
Can you please get that fucking picture off the TV screen? I can't handle Buff Bagwell staring at me pouting anymore.
It's the stuff.
I don't care. It's really off-putting.
Still can't get it up.
Right, we have to edit that. It's an accident. Okay.
I think that's it. I've got nothing else to add to that.
Well, I don't think we have to go into their backgrounds at all, do we? They're legendary.
Yeah.
It's just such a shame that match has never taken place when it is blatantly obvious that it would have been an absolute mega match.
Yeah.
I think they only interacted once when Shawn super kicked The Rock on
About 99, I reckon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think wasn't it during the Iron Man match with Triple H?
Yes,
The Rock?
2000s, you mean.
Shawn was
Okay.
the referee, wasn't he? And I think
Did he super kick him or did he cost him the match? This is Judgment Day 2000s.
Yeah, there was some time around then.
Smackdown.
It
The
might-
first ever Smackdown.
Yes, it could have been that one. Yeah, I think it
Triple
was.
H versus The Rock.
And
Shawn
Shawn's-
Michaels special guest referee and he
Yeah,
costs him. Yeah.
Ah,
And
okay.
I think that's
Don't
the
remember that.
only
So-
interaction I think they ever had. Really?
So 2.
yeah,
Judgment
them
Day
two.
2000s as
Yeah.
the special guest
Have
referee.
you two got the same one for that one then?
We have.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have indeed.
So we're back round to me again then.
I think it is.
Wow. Holy shit. Right then. My number 2 was from 2006. And it is Abyss versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 23.
I heard about this match. It was meant to happen.
In 2006, Abyss was approached and eventually offered a WWE contract, which would have led to his debut and arrival at the Royal Rumble of that year. Eventually, this would build up to a feud that would obviously, penultimately end at WrestleMania, involving obviously the Undertaker's streak at the time, and Abyss would end up becoming another name to add to the streak list.
Just another victim.
But sadly, it never happened.
Yep.
Abyss opted to stay where he felt he belonged, back at TNA.
I think that was a clever move.
Yeah, I've got to agree, yeah. And do you know what we got instead of that?
What did we get?
You got Batista.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got the title match. Actually, I'm not the biggest fan of Batista in the ring, but that's probably one of Batista's best matches.
But it's from a gimmick point of, Abyss, when you see obviously the Monsters Ball matches and things like that he has. Could you imagine something like that with The Undertaker involved?
Yeah, I think The Undertaker has had so many potential opponents that are like that. I mean, around sort of that time, do you remember Mordecai?
Yeah, I never went anywhere.
And then
that
you had
died on its arse.
Yeah, and then you had the guy that me and Jonny were talking about, the British guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
what's his name? Yeah, I know. I can picture him, and I was picturing him before we mentioned it.
They did a vignette with this guy. He spoke about the Undertaker, and he was coming in as like some sort of cult leader or something like that, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's bugging me now.
I can't remember what his name is. That's a question for everyone out there, because we could easily look it up and it's on the tip of our tongue, but we just cannot think of it. But this guy around about 2007 was billed to face the Undertaker,
Right.
and there was a vignette that played, and it went absolutely nowhere because again Vince thought he was too small. When he saw him, he thought he was too small.
Right.
But I'm sure it made TV.
I think it did. Yeah. Abyss. I was never a massive fan of Abyss.
I liked him.
I just found him to be kind of a mixture between Mankind and Kane.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I could just never really get into it.
Yeah, this is why I go with the theory that it was best for him to stay in
no, I agree totally.
TNA or Impact.
I really enjoyed what, Abyss's work. I didn't like the whole Joseph Park fucking character he did, obviously, when he unmasked and put the suit on, or a sports tracksuit and all that. I thought that was shite. But as Abyss, and I've got to admit, I really enjoyed it when he started teaming up with Crazy Steve and Rosemary.
Yeah.
For me, that works. That really worked. Them three as a stable, Decay, were fucking awesome.
I think that he was really good in the position he was in. And sometimes attempting to go higher might not work. Because, like Jonny said, I would have had those similar thoughts in a WWE ring. That he was sort of very, very close to the two that Jonny mentions.
Yeah.
And I thought that he fit TNA or Impact.
But my other side of that is, and I do agree with you, I really do, but I would have dreaded what Vince would have done to him as a character.
That's my point.
I think he would have ruined him, and I think that could have been the end of him.
Yeah.
But so I agree totally. I think Abyss made the correct decision, staying with TNA.
Also, Abyss is like a hardcore character, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You're moving into the PG era right at this point.
True. Yeah.
And what use would he have been?
It
would have been great to have seen, but do I personally think it would have worked? No.
Wasn't he backstage quite a bit, doing a lot of backstage stuff?
He's backstage now, isn't he?
I think so,
he is. Yeah.
He books matches. He's an agent, I believe.
Yeah.
So good on you, mate. You ended up there eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's not always a good thing to go there.
No. As someone recently said, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But we're not going to talk about it. Back to you, James.
Oh, is it James now?
Yeah, because you both had the same one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, I think a lot of people wouldn't think of.
Danhausen.
Do you know what?
Versus Triple H.
Do you know what? I think, seriously though, Stu, you're going to really like this one.
Right, go for it.
We lost this guy as wrestling fans way too early, and that's Bruiser Brody.
Absolutely.
Versus Mick Foley.
Oh, yes.
So, Bruiser Brody, I think most people know the story. I mean, he was legendary. He was a legendary independent who could basically go anywhere he wanted and command any sort of money.
I'm just sitting back and I'm just going to listen to this.
They never have a match. Like early on in Mick Foley's career.
They might have done.
I don't know if they did.
Yes, they might have done. I think that Bruiser was... I've got to be really careful with my words. He passed away, I'll say.
Yeah.
In, I reckon it was 1985. I might be wrong. I'm guessing. Because I don't write any notes. I just go off my knowledge.
Wikipedia.
So this took place in Puerto Rico. You can look this up.
Yeah.
I mean, this will not define his career anyway. He was a legend in Japan. He was one of the first Americans to be given an honorary salute. It wasn't a 10-bell salute. He was given just this beautiful... I can't even explain how they did it in Japan. They just... they had his wife and I think his son in the ring.
Yeah.
Didn't they? And
they did.
All the lights stand, they just give him this beautiful send-off. Had massive, massive feuds with Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
And this guy scared the hell out of the crowd. He would literally go into the crowds and just run amok and everyone would run away. You can watch some of it on YouTube. If you've never checked this guy out, he was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've got Mick Foley. You've got the hardcore legends, who a lot of people look at Brody and say, that's where sort of he got his inspiration from. I'm not sure if that's necessarily true, but that is a dream match.
There is an interview of Mick Foley saying that he actually did.
Did he? Yeah. And I just think that's such a shame that never ever happened at any time.
No, I did just check it up and it has never happened.
No, so what year did he pass?
88.
88?
I beat me to it. July 17th.
Yeah.
88.
42 years old, died in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he died in Puerto Rico.
Stabbed.
I'm not. Yeah, as I say, I'm not going to go into the circumstances of that because it's very, very strange, and we all know truthfully what happens.
If you don't, I just suggest that you go and just research it.
There's a Dark Side of the Ring episode.
There is. It's a very, very sad episode as well because he was beloved.
Yeah, absolutely.
42 years of age. Could have still got another couple of years out of him.
Yeah.
And we could have seen some really, really great matches. So, I'm just going to go with that one. I just think that is an absolute dream match.
Yeah.
Mate,
that's all I can say.
Could not agree more, mate.
Hard-hitting match, Very good.
Well, it could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Literally. False count anywhere, hardcore match, barbed wire, anywhere.
Yeah.
And it could have changed the whole dynamics of hardcore early on because we all talk about Terry Funk and he is an absolute legend.
Yeah.
But then you got Bruiser Brody. And Bruiser wasn't so much a hardcore as we see it in the modern day. He was more out of control.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best way to describe it. But I'll leave that there.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic. Right. Is it me?
It's you.
Okay. The match I'm going to go for, in my opinion, is WrestleMania worthy. And there's two wrestlers that could be considered the greatest of all time. One side you have the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and his opponent Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a class match.
Ooh.
I'd choose possibly Shawn from maybe 96 and Steamboat from 89.
Yeah, Michael's best year was 96.
Yeah.
In ring.
Yeah.
He was untouchable.
You think this match would be up there with like Steamboat's matches with Flair and Savage?
Yeah.
Be like a full on. It would be a great match, I think. You could even have imagine the two of them in an Iron Man match as well, like a 30-minute match.
Yeah.
There's a chance this could have happened in 1992. Shawn had just become a singles guy, but Steamboat had just left to go to WCW. Yeah, there's not much else to really say about it. I just think it'd be a great match, which is a shame it never happened.
Yeah, too right.
Two great technicians.
Yeah.
It would have been stunning. Yeah.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Brilliant.
That leads me to my last one. Little bit of a complex one, this one. Well, it could have been, but unfortunately that is the issue. It could have been. My last pick is titled The Battle of the Four Horsemen. This followed on, and I can't remember what year it was, an episode of WCW where Brian Pillman ended up being slapped by Arn Anderson on camera.
I think it was either 95 or 96.
95.
Thank you. Because he was, at the time, obviously a member of the Four Horsemen, considered what would eventually to be his gimmick, the loose cannon. And it was the start of that era of Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
He was starting to develop the loose cannon persona. Arn Anderson basically had found it a bit fucking irritating and had given him a bit of a calm the fuck down forehand slap. This was going to be written as the catalyst for Pillman to pull away from the Four Horsemen and start his own Four Horsemen fraction. On paper, I think this would have been fucking brilliant because I eventually then found out who Pillman was going to have as his other three members of his version of the Four Horsemen.
Oh, okay.
Which, rumoured at the time, and would eventually become a draft, would have been Brian Pillman, Chris Benoit, Steven Regal, and Chris Jericho.
That's four really good names.
Yeah. Obviously all four of these, they were considered to be rookies at the time, but they had been and they had worked and they knew their stuff.
Yeah.
They were seasoned, but classed as rookies by WCW in those days. What the storyline was going to entail was, obviously, like I stated, it would have been the Four Horsemen versus the new Four Horsemen.
Okay, yeah.
And it would have become a feud for the right to the name and legacy of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah. I never heard this.
Neither have I. I have some issues with it. Not on paper, it sounds wonderful. My issues are Eric Bischoff doing that story at that time and doing that justice.
Unfortunately, because of this loose cannon gimmick, this was at the time when Pillman was coming to his end with WCW. He wanted out.
Yeah, because he was in, I think in 95, this is me, as you guys know, I have no notes. I'm going off my own head, right? I think that he debuts in around about 95, late 95 to early 96 in ECW.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Because I like to say it was around May that he appeared in WWF because he was at the King of the Ring, 96.
Yep.
So I've got a feeling it was around May-ish time he was there. So yeah, probably between December, May,
Yeah, I'd like to see how close I actually am on that, but it's definitely 95. It's got to be, or it might even be earlier, depending on when they come up with a concept. I don't know.
I think that would have been amazing. What a feud that could have been.
What else was going on in WCW at that time?
You've got the fucking Dungeon of Doom. We're doing a thing on that.
Yes, yeah.
So you've got Dungeon. This is what I was saying about Eric Bischoff, guys.
Right.
Because at this point in time, you have got the Dungeon of Doom. You've got Ric Flair really quite floundering. I believe that there's a feud at this point between Arn Anderson and Ric Flair.
Yeah, they did have a match at Full Brawl.
Yeah, so it's either late 94 or early 95, isn't it?
September 95.
Okay, so that's later than that. Problem with WCW at this point is they were kind of all over the place. They were lucky WWF weren't doing well or as bad as they were. Because if you look back, I mean, we went and had a look back recently, Johnny. There was some rubbish that they were putting out. I mean, they had such talent there, and yet they were doing like the Triple Cage, Alliance to End Hulkamania, Monster Truck matches.
What do you think? If they'd have gone through with this, that could have been something that could have salvaged them.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to have seen it, personally.
I would have
loved it.
I would have, but I'm just looking at it from the point of view of Bischoff Stewart at that time.
No, I totally get that, and he probably would have fucked it up.
Because it was Hogan in 95 in WCW.
And would he have stood for people like the Four Horsemen?
No,
Pillman, Regal, Benoit, Jericho trying to come in and, be...
No, these were blatant mid-carders. I mean, I don't think Jericho's there at this point, is he? Is he actually there?
No, I don't know.
I think he was.
This is a light heavyweight division, isn't it? Comes in light heavyweight as a babyface.
Yeah, the cruiserweights.
Lionheart.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. But I think it would have been a good match, good feud. Yeah.
It would have been cool.
It would have
been. There you go.
Yes.
That's my number one.
Brilliant, Stu.
Who's next?
I'll go. I never, as you guys know, I never like to bring this guy up, personally. Yeah, so for my final pick, guys, I never really like to bring this guy up, because it's always controversial. But I can't leave this off because in ring, this would have been unbelievable, in my opinion. I've gone with Dynamite Kid, Tom Billington, and Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Mirror images of each other.
Nearly, and this is exactly the reason, Johnny, nearly mirror images of careers as well. Both were trained, I believe that Benoit's trained in the Hart Family Dungeon, isn't he?
Yes.
I believe he was.
I think so.
Yep. Right, so they both go to Japan, and Dynamite goes and has just... I don't know if any of you guys have seen this match. I mean, this is a legendary match. Have you ever seen the Tiger Mask feud?
No.
Yeah, early 80s, isn't it?
It's stunning.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, it's
Isn't it
stunning.
for the actual light heavyweight title?
Yeah, Tiger Mask versus Dynamite Kid. Then you have Benoit. He goes over there. He goes over there as the Pegasus Kid.
Yeah.
And he makes a massive name for himself. Now, what's weird is that these two end up at some point in Stampede Wrestling.
Okay.
Right? I think, and this is it's around the early 90s. and Tom Billington gives Chris Benoit his boots.
Okay.
As if to say to carry on the
It's like-
legacy.
yeah,
You can
yeah,
look
yeah.
all this up. This
Like
is
passing
coming
of the
from
torch
knowledge.
kind of thing.
Yeah, passing the torch. But they never ever faced each other. And obviously, Chris Benoit, his style and his sharpness in the ring, everything like that, how crispy was always been associated with Tom Billington, the Dynamite Kid. I just think that would have been a stunning match in ring.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that could have been amazing, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
I haven't really got much more to say on it because it would just be an in-ring marvel.
Yeah.
And
God,
I'd have
yeah.
liked to have seen it in Japan.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd have liked to have seen like Pegasus Kid versus the Dynamite Kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Both in their absolute primes in
Yeah.
Japan.
That would have been a great match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
So that's the one I've gone for, guys.
Okay. Who's got a pick left?
It's you.
Me.
Yeah,
Me,
I'm
me,
done,
me,
mate.
me.
Yeah.
Okay. My third pick also involves Chris Benoit. I think we've all had a Chris Benoit.
We have,
haven't we?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's a tag team contest and involves the early 1990s version of Rick and Scott Steiner, the Steiner brothers,
Okay.
as they lock horns with 2002 SmackDown tag team champions Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit.
Okay.
Some people consider the Steiner brothers to be one of the greatest tag teams of all time. You could say they're ahead of their time.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Because I would think that Jonny really early on as well because they were over in Japan
Yeah, yeah.
and, oh God, they were superb.
They
Yeah.
were, yeah.
They were the measuring stick for anyone and they could do pretty much anything they wanted apparently.
Yeah,
If you were a new team and you got the Steiners, you were a little bit worried,
Yeah.
similar to Vader.
Yeah. All four wrestlers were amateur wrestlers before actually becoming professional wrestlers in the business. Like I said, the moves the Steiners were doing were explosive, from top rope bulldogs to Frankensteiners to Scott even delivering a top rope DDT off his opponent's, like off Rick Steiner's shoulders. It was all over the place. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, they were two of the best in-ring wrestlers of all time. They became a tag team only for a few months back in 2002 when Paul Heyman was running SmackDown and there was like a tournament to crown new champions. The two teams, if they wrestled each other, it would be a classic, I think. Be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, it'd be a classic match. I don't know who would win.
Me.
But yeah, I think that's it.
I think
Nice.
it's a great match. I think the thing with this is it's about being creative and it is also subjective. It's what we actually go for.
I have a few honourable mentions as
Yeah.
well, which weren't actually in the chat.
Right.
I've got Kurt Angle versus Ken Shamrock. I always wanted to see this match.
Yeah.
They were both kind of alike in a way. Both had the same moves, I suppose, but I agree with you. Yeah.
I agree with you. It would have been a good match.
I've also got the Hollywood Blondes versus the Steiner brothers.
Did that ever happen?
He didn't know. Steiner's
Wow,
left
really?
just as the Hollywood Blondes became a team.
Okay.
I've got
Shit.
Chris Benoit versus Ricky Steamboat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Owen Hart
He's popping
versus...
up a lot in this episode, isn't he?
Yeah, yes.
Owen Hart versus Ricky Steamboat.
It's a Ricky Steamboat fest
Yeah.
for Johnny.
It's Steamboat and Benoit Fest.
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's because he's so good in the ring. You could literally put him in there with any fucker, couldn't you?
I've got Owen Hart and Chris Jericho.
That's an interesting one. Now I'm shocked that those two have never met
No,
in
never
any
crossed paths.
way at all because they're both from Canada and you would have expected them at one point
Yeah.
to have. Yeah.
That's it. Kurt Angle, Ricky Steamboat. Kurt Angle, Bob Backlund.
It's now turned to Kurt Angle, Benoit.
Kurt Angle, Yokozuna.
That's a really
Ooh.
interesting one.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that.
Well, we had some...
I'm going to go with one
go on then.
Okay.
because it was my original one on my list. I'm going to go with Bret Hart and Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
To top that, I'll go with Daniel Bryan and Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Which never happened, which is a surprise. It never happened because Shawn trained Daniel Bryan and...
It was used as a storyline, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, then, we've had some listener feedback from this one. We've had some good ideas for this one, most of which are all dream matches. So the first one I'm going to read out comes from Lee Spicer, and he has suggested Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero.
This match was actually due to happen.
It was.
At WrestleMania 26, I think it was. But it ended up being Shawn versus John Cena because of Eddie's passing a few months prior.
He also goes on to state Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk.
Yeah. At the time when Punk was really big, about 2013.
Yeah, they
I
did
would
do
go
a
with
sit-down interview.
They did. They did it for a video game, and they teased whether it could happen.
And his final choice is, and I like this one, Kurt Angle versus Bret Hart.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking this one.
We've also got David John Reynolds has said Sting versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell for the streak.
Yeah, that is a dream match which is on everyone's radar, and everyone is shocked that never occurred.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just going back 1 second, the match previous to that was, you said Kurt Angle, Bret Hart. Have you heard the story where Kurt actually rang Bret Hart up and said, look, I want to wrestle you at WrestleMania? And I think this might have been the WrestleMania 26, I think it was, when Bret Hart was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And Bret was like, I'd love to do the match, but I've had a stroke. And, yeah, it never happened.
Yeah.
God.
We've also got...
I mean, Bret was no way in shape to do that match. I mean, he was in... He didn't even really do anything against Vince McMahon in that match.
No.
We've got Jamie Queenville has put RVD versus Mike Awesome.
I feel like this match happened.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
I'm not
to be honest.
certain. If it didn't, I think it would be a great match.
It would be a great match.
Billy Morgan has suggested FTR versus Legion of Doom. I think would be a good match, as I think they are both amazing.
I think that's a fantastic one, and the reason why is because I think that's a real clash of styles.
Yeah,
I think that's a good match.
I think that's a really good pick.
I like that.
He's also put, and I love the fact that he's clearly thought of me for these two, and he's even tagged me in one of them. Stu Reed, thinking of you. Piper versus Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Yeah, be alright. Yeah.
And his final comment, he said, I've changed my mind. The only match that matters would be Danhausen versus History, injury or not.
Do we want to do Danhausen watch now?
Have we watched any Danhausen?
I haven't.
I have. He's currently out of action because he's torn his bicep.
Oh, is he?
But he has been at a lot of conventions and having a lot of photos with guests and stars that are on the lineup as well.
I think it's a good segue for just Danhausen watch at the moment because we do promise we'll do Danhausen watch, but AEW don't really use him that much.
No, because he's out injured at the moment.
Yeah.
And obviously he's had surgery on his bicep and this, that and the other. But he's out. He's on the recovery mend, and I don't think we'll see him in AEW anytime soon,
You see, I think if his bicep was okay to an extent, I still think he can be on TV.
When I did post this comment saying that he was out injured, I even stated what the injury was, that he'd torn his bicep, and I'm pretty sure it was Rob Shepherd who commented, and if it isn't you, Rob, I do apologise, but if it is you, I am calling you out on this. His comment was, what bicep? Oh, mate, and I clearly remembered my comment was big capital letters, fucking blasphemy.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
And big shout out to Darren Brown. He wouldn't like that either.
No, mate. No, not one bit. Jim Sangwell. That's Danhausen, Watchhausen out the way. We've got Jim Sangwell. Hello, Jim. I would have loved any combination of Randy Savage or Michaels versus Bryan or Rollins. Cesaro versus Dean Malenko. Owens versus Vader.
Yeah, I think they're really good. I think if you look there, I actually spoke to Jim on this because whenever I do, you know when you sit there and you think of a WrestleMania that you can put on throughout the ages if everyone was still alive and active, I always put Savage and Rollins against each other.
I think that'd be good.
And I don't know why,
Yeah.
story-wise. Just, I think they would mesh so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Vader, him and Samoa Joe.
Oh,
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Two big balls going at it.
Anyway, there endeth the listener interaction.
Yes.
I've just got something I want to interject with beforehand. Obviously, I've been on 2 sets of me jollies in the last month since we've recorded. A couple of weeks ago, I went over to Bridgewater in Somerset, and big up to anyone in Bridgewater that's listening. Some of you I'm actually going to mention. I got to meet up with some of our listeners.
Did you?
At a gig, yeah. So I will say hi to Dan and Billy.
Hello, Dan and Billy.
Thanks for all the lovely comments, and also especially Billy for the t-shirt ideas that you'd love to see and buy. And also to Chris Blackmore, who very kindly put me up for the night and let me crash on his sofa whilst we went to this gig. And they ordered some lovely comments about the podcast, and they're all hugely supportive of what we do, and they find it absolutely fucking hilarious. So
Brilliant. That's the idea.
thanks ever so much. Even though I've known Billy for many, many years, he did turn around and say to me, "It's really weird hearing your voice in person because I'm so used to it coming out of his headphones." But and also a week or so before that, I got to go to my first indie show.
You did.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, James and Jonny couldn't be with me. They had some, personal.
We were there in spirits.
Yeah, they had some personal issues that came up, and unfortunately, that meant that they couldn't come with me. So I was, as I stated to these guys on the messenger. I felt like we still needed to be represented, and I was worried I was going to step on some of their toes and disgruntle them. But luckily, these two awesome mates of mine, they were very understanding and thought it was a good idea.
No, we felt that you actually stood up for us.
Oh right. Oh, thank you very much.
We were proud that you managed, because we had.
Cheers,
you would know. I mean, I can speak from my side. I had so much personal stuff going on. I couldn't go.
Massively.
So I felt that you had done me a massive service as a
no
mate.
worries, man.
That's how I felt about it.
Cheers. So I got to go to Stowmarket Slam, number 10.
Slam. WWW.
Yeah, World War Wrestling. And I've got to be honest, man, it's my first indie show that I've ever been to, and it was fucking amazing.
They're great, aren't they?
It was so good.
But as I wrote to you, some of them are. Like, some of them are. You can go some places and they're like, I'll give you an example. Yeah, they're terrible. Like, I used to go to Butlins sometimes, and if it wasn't something that, like, Ricky Knight had put on, and it was someone else, like, it was not good. It was like cheap knockoffs of everyone.
I quite like it now. I like going to see. I'm trying to find these really bad shows that are out there. Like, there's some guy called James Steiner.
Yeah, that's like that.
But I've got to say a massive shout out to everyone involved at World War Wrestling. Bret, the promoter, met him. He was so welcoming.
I've known him for a few years now. I think we trained, or we may have even been in a Royal Rumble together.
He's a fucking big guy.
Point. He is, yeah. But yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Oh, he was sound. He made us feel so welcoming. We got to talk to him, and it was. I even said to him, like, this is actually my first indie show I've ever been to, and I think he'd obviously kind of, I don't know if he felt a bit shocked. Like, it was like, you do a wrestling podcast? What do you mean you're doing it? And I was like, I'm like 41 and I've never been to an indie show before. Right. I posted loads of photos from the actual event itself.
I should put them together, didn't I, for the video?
And it was, like I said, Bret made me feel incredibly welcome. Pointed out to us, said, like, we've got all these seats over here, and they were. He said, obviously, the front 2 rows all the way around, they were all reserved, but you probably get a best view up there on the balcony. I was like, right, sweet, cheers, mate. And I did. I had a absolutely perfect view. It was awesome. I got to meet quite a few of the wrestlers, like like during, before, afterwards. I am going to give a massive shout to a few in particular that I spoke to that were absolutely brilliant. The first one I actually got to speak to, and it was during the interval. God, what the hell's going wrong with me?
I don't know.
So I'm getting all excited, that's why. During the interview. Oh my God.
Start again.
During the gap.
During the break.
During the break period, there we go. I got to speak to the King of Couture, Brad O'Brien. And so during the interval, I got to speak to the King of Couture, Brad O'Brien. For a good 15-20 minutes. Him and Kelly Six had the opening match, and I've got to be honest, that match was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
it was so good.
I've watched Kelly Six, and he is a white meat babyface, and he sort of, did he go around the crowds? Yeah. He's really cool.
He was brilliant. Actually, I spoke to him as well. It was like, obviously where they had their match first, I can't remember where I was coming back from, but I walked past him and I stopped him. I was like, mate, I'm really sorry. I've just got to say this quickly before we go back up to the start of the second half. That match was fucking brilliant. As far as opening matches go, that was amazing. Thanks. And he was lovely. It was so nice, so appreciative of the kind words, But I got to speak to Brad about, his background. And it was absolutely amazing. He was describing to me his usual week about work and fitting in going to the gym like 4 or 5 times a week, and then doing what shows he does as well. And also like, going into his personal life, trying to fit all that in at the same time. And then we spent ages talking about Mick Foley, because it's Perfect. Mick Foley, isn't it? But, some other names I've got to mention as well. Like I said previously, Kelly Six was, brilliant. Just really, really nice guy. Mark True as well. Sky Smithson.
She's awesome. I've been watching her in Pro Wrestling Eve.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, I as far as heels go, she was awesome.
That's. I think I wrote to you about her. She's sort of got a look that's a little bit like Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
But she's got like this old school heel mentality where she really gets into the crowd.
Oh yeah, man.
I think she's called the Villainess, isn't she?
I believe so. Yeah. She was brilliant. And again, I got to speak to her afterwards and just say like, I'm from Top Turnbuckle Podcast, all right, to take a photo. So I took a photo with her posing with the title, and then she just went, "Do you want a selfie?" I was like, "Yeah, all right, yeah." And spoke to her. It's absolutely lovely. Unfortunately, I didn't get to speak to Rain Leverkusen.
That's a shame.
There was quite a queue of people in front, and I just couldn't get the chance to speak to her.
What did you think of her?
Brilliant.
Yeah, she's got something about her, hasn't she?
Yeah, those two put on a brilliant match together. Yeah. They were really good.
It's funny because the literal week, that week, they have both been working together in Pro Wrestling Eve.
That's it. Yeah. Couple of other people that... one in particular as well I wanted to point out, and that also leads us into something else that we could announce. The main event was Corey McRae versus Karim Brigante. Really enjoyed it, but I got to speak to Corey afterwards.
He is amazing.
That was good. Is that the match we watched, wasn't it?
We watched that. We watched that because Stu posted it, and we actually watched it. But I've seen Corey a couple of times, and he is amazing.
Oh yeah,
He's right up my alley because he's got a martial arts background for sure.
I said that to you. I'm adamant that there is definitely a martial arts background there.
Before wrestling.
Yeah. Now, all of these people that I've mentioned, anyway. please go out and check them out. A couple of names I haven't mentioned also. You've got the Goth Daddy, Xander, the Lucha Lions, Danny Blaze, Ollie Blake. Go and check these guys out. This show was amazing. I couldn't thank all of them enough. But I then got approached by Corey a couple of days afterwards, and cut a long story short, we're now sponsoring him.
That's amazing.
We are indeed.
So I'm over the moon to announce that. I know it's been on the page anyway, but our lovely little logo is going to be on the wrestler's shorts.
Oh, very nice.
I was so gutted not to see Corey, because I told you before going, didn't I, that I'd watch him. Yeah. Because for me, he's got something really unique about him, because he's got like this MMA style before wrestling.
Yes.
And I'm not an expert. I'm talking as a fan watching.
Yeah.
So I just love his style. I think he's amazingly good.
Yeah.
He's athletic. He's got
good
a serious...
Really good heel.
He's got a seriousness to him, but he's also got a light side where he'll give it to the crowd.
Yeah.
So he's got like this really good mesh of like getting the crowd involved and really knocking them off.
Yeah.
In like that pantomime style. When he's in the ring, he's serious.
He's lethal.
And he's lethal and he's good.
Do you know what? There was two that I see, and they are big names that I see just a really, really good mesh of wrestlers there. Is like the whole personality and the way he carried himself in the ring of Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
But the brutality of Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, see, now I meshed him with you as a combination of Aleister Black or Malachi Black.
Yeah.
And I'm, because of his martial arts.
Yeah.
And I also meshed him with Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the style of him.
Yeah.
He's got like this really confident way about him with the crowd, the way he gives it to the crowd and everything like that. And he's also got a little bit of a look of him, and I just think he's awesome.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But, and again, Bret, everyone else, thanks for making me feel incredibly welcome.
Yeah.
Please go out and check out World War Wrestling. Give them some support. Tell them where you heard them. And just give them some support. It's go to their shows. You won't be disappointed.
They have shows on all the time.
Yeah,
all over.
They work so fucking hard. And James was right what he said. I have got that indie wrestling bug now.
Yeah, you do get it.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Thanks again, guys. Thanks ever so much for putting on a fucking amazing show.
And next time we'll all be there.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will be there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And there's a few coming up, guys. I mean,
there's always shows everywhere.
We can speak about. I mean, my love for it at the moment. Pro Wrestling Eve.
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling Eve have got stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And we can go to those,
Absolutely.
and that'd be fantastic.
You can go to any town or village, and there'll always be a show.
Yeah.
Anywhere at some point on. But talking on sponsors though, we actually have another sponsor as well.
No way.
We do.
No way.
We're rolling.
We are fucking kicking ass, aren't we?
Fucking sponsoring us.
We are
You silly fuckers. No, I'm joking. We are grateful.
We're really grateful.
Yeah.
Our new sponsor
Dun, 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 dun.
is Easy Way Merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
They specialise in making wrestling merchandise for performers and its promotions. They make everything from badges to patches to hats to show posters to kids, women and men's t-shirts up to 5XL.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm happy.
The quality they use is perfect as well and at very cheap prices. We will... I'll post some links and stuff. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram. Again, Easy Way Merchandise. We have some t-shirts coming soon.
Yeah.
Which we are looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, man.
And like I said, we'll put some more posts out there of everything. We'll pose in the t-shirts as well. And check them out.
Whoa.
I want to see Jonny do like that Slamboree poster.
I would do that as well. I'd happily do that. Yeah. I would do that. Just the t-shirt, nothing else.
Pants.
The 6-year-old pants?
Yeah.
Or, I've still got... I don't know where they are.
I don't want to know.
I have no idea where they are.
But thanks again for just...
This one, Jonny.
No, stop putting the damn poster up. Christ. Yeah,
that
thanks again for... I'm trying to be fucking serious here, James. Stop putting up pictures of Bagwell. Yeah, thanks again.
Easy Way merchandise.
Go
Easy
check them
way
out.
to get your merchandise.
Oh.
Boom.
But yes, thanks to everyone that that has been involved with us recently, you know,
Yes.
and thanks to everyone who's recently joined the group as well, our community pages. There's been a massive increase
There is.
of
It's getting bigger and bigger.
yeah,
Like
people
smile
following,
on my
people
Bagwell's
getting
face.
involved.
Yeah.
Stop putting up pictures of Bagwell.
I tell you what, though, on a tangent, what were they doing with Buff? I mean, look at these pictures. Look, fucking hell.
He's gorgeous, isn't he?
He is.
He's got the body of a chiseled god.
So you can. There's
What
one.
the fuck is going on here?
I mean, the obvious, brilliant one is that.
Can we
Slamboree
please stop
2000
putting
one.
that up? Oh,
But then there's
my
this
God.
one. Look at this one.
Fucking Jesus.
He had his mum on what was it, on a pole, weren't it?
Yeah.
He could
Oh,
put me on a
we've
pole.
talked about that shite.
He can put me on a pole.
I think,
Looks like he's giving you a poll.
to be honest, would you rather?
What? Where's this going?
Yeah, this
Would
one I'm
you
saying,
rather?
right? Have to put that in your living room or watch the Judy Bagwell in a pole match.
put that
live?
I've watched the Judy Bagwell in a pole match.
Yeah.
I put that in my living
I'm
room.
not having that. Right,
And watch the
I swear to God, when it comes to Christmas time, if one of you gets me that, you're going to get a punch in the cock. I promise you right now. You have this on record. If one of you two gets me that, you're getting a dick punch.
Would
Oh
you
well,
rather have-
you might have to get it then, Johnny, because I've already gone there.
Would you rather me do the picture in a frame and give it to you? Or
What, you doing that
Doing
pose?
that with the in your living room.
Or that.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is now, if
You
I
do
can get away
realise
with
we're
it-
still recording.
I know. I don't care. What I'm going to say now is that is going to be the thumbnail, or at least I'm going to put that in at some point
Not
so
having
people
that.
know what it
I'll
is.
tell you what, on Spotify, that ain't going to be the thumbnail. No way in hell.
That'd be amazing.
Anyway, shall we get back on topic?
Yeah.
Right.
Who would like to
I haven't got
introduce our
over it
next
since
section?
I saw it. I'm sorry.
I'm going to have fucking nightmares about this poster now.
You sure there'll be nightmares?
Oh, it ain't going to be happy dreams, I'll tell you that.
But why?
Look at those lips. Whoa, inviting you in.
Why is that a poster?
The shocking thing is, people pay to have that sort of pout now, don't they?
But why is that a poster for the wrestling show?
I think he's winked at me.
Let's get on with the next topic.
Right. King of the Ring.
King of the Ring.
Yes. King of the Ring.
Right.
Can I give you a little bit of a backstory about King of the Ring?
Why not, Johnny?
Why not?
James, will you put the controller down and stop putting up pictures of Buff Bagwell?
No, I'm just interested because someone's actually found a poster and they're really happy about it. Look,
That was me.
Yeah, but that one looks
they
like...
put cool finds on eBay.
What makes that one even worse is the fact that there's obviously a light reflection that either makes him look like he's been sniffing coke or he's got a white tash.
Yeah, but why the fuck would someone buy that on eBay?
would.
Do you know?
Oh, for the love of God, get on with the King of the Ring
I
subject.
put it on a t-shirt.
Put the controller down.
King of the Ring.
Shit.
King of Buff.
Fuck's sake.
Okay.
Get the fuck on with it.
King of the Ring.
Yes.
The first King of the Ring took place in 1985.
Did it really?
Yes, it did.
And it was won by the magnificent Don Morocco.
Oh.
How many King of the Rings do you think there's been in total? Come on, have a guess.
What, people?
Yes, or tournaments, yeah, with the winner. Yeah.
Okay.
How many do you think there's been?
19. Am I close? Can I even get am I close?
Maybe.
Alright, 18.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? It's a yes or no answer.
Yes, you're close, yes.
20.
Let James have a go. Come on, let
Fuck
him have a
him. He's been making me look at Buff Bagwell pictures for an hour.
I'm putting that on there.
Oh,
go. Come on, handsome.
I reckon there's been 21.
Ooh, there has been 22.
Yep.
You prick.
Yeah, do you know
you
what?
Fucking smart.
No,
ass.
I tried to count it because one individual has won it twice.
Yes. I have a list of them all here. You have Don Morocco, Harley Race, Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase, Tito Santana,
Fuck,
Bret
that's the one I've
Hart
missed.
twice, Owen Hart, Mable, Steve Austin, Triple H, Ken Shamrock, Billy Gunn, Kurt Angle, Edge, Brock Lesnar, Bad News Barrett, Sheamus, William Regal, Booker T, Baron Corbin, Xavier Woods.
So I stop at Brock Lesnar.
Yes, I do too.
Because to me, when the pay-per-view goes, that goes. Because they never did anything with it, really.
No, they didn't.
No. It was brought back after. There was quite a big gap between Brock Lesnar and Bad News Barrett as well.
Yeah, because wasn't it Neville in the final of that one?
I think so. Yes, I've got a good feeling it was.
I'm gonna test you here because I think. Have you got Regal on there?
Yeah, Regal's in.
You did have Regal on there, okay.
Yes.
You forgot Danhausen. Danhausen wins it this year.
He does.
Spoiler alert.
A few kings that didn't win King of the Ring: Jerry the King Lawler, King Haku, King Duggan, King Kong Bundy, Brody King, and Silver King. They were all kings, but never won the tournament.
Did the Burger King get involved?
He didn't. No.
Shame on
And
him.
I'm gonna back to smart arse again.
Okay.
King Harley Race.
I said Harley Race. Yeah.
Did ya?
I did. Yes,
did.
he won.
Did you
it.
say
He
Eddie
was the
Graham?
second. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
I'm just going on some kings.
Get out.
I always
Stop nicking my phrase!
I always found it really interesting that you had that session when they didn't have the King of the Ring, but you had a king.
Yeah.
But you still had the King of the Ring tournament going on house shows. So I think that's where it was going on.
Did you say King Booker?
Oh, I did.
Did you?
King Booker T.
Can't miss that one out. That's the most important one ever.
That's the fucking worst one.
I know.
Can you remember? No.
Really?
No, do you know
Get
why?
the fuck
Do you
out.
know why I couldn't stand it? I couldn't stand when they'd just keep shouting, "Oh, how King
yeah,
Booker!"
yeah.
Oh, shite.
King Booker.
No, fuck that.
There we go.
So
So who's going first?
James has grabbed his piece of paper. There you go. Are we going with worst or best first?
Ooh.
I think we should go with best because I think that worst is quite funny.
Best is best.
As I said before we were going to start recording, one of you were reading my little sentence out.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm going to go first. So this is my best moment, and it's quite simply Stone Cold Steve Austin's speech.
Yeah.
It changes the whole dynamic of wrestling.
Yeah.
That's 96, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you watch that back now, it's so epic to watch. Go on YouTube, guys, and watch that, and watch the way Austin stands below the steps.
Yeah.
But looking at that silly outfit that a previous member wore quite happily.
Yeah.
What we'll talk about later.
And proudly.
Yeah. And Austin just goes up there and gives this speech, which come from Jake the Snake Roberts, by the way.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it didn't. The whole thing didn't come from Jake. Basically, I believe that they asked what Jake had said, didn't they, or something like that?
Yeah.
Didn't they say that Jake had spoke about like Christianity
Bible
or something
and
in the
stuff.
Bible?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where it come from. It didn't directly come from Jake.
So it's
but
influenced by...
It was influenced, and it had a lot to do with Michael Hayes, I believe, because Michael Hayes was the one that told him what Jake said. I don't know if he helped him with it.
But it is such a badass speech, though.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Austin 316.
Yeah.
Those two things come from that speech.
Yeah.
Austin 316 goes on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Becomes the biggest selling t-shirt out there.
Yeah. Probably of all time, to be fair.
I think it is. If I had to guess, I reckon of all time, it's between that and the NWO shirt.
Yeah.
If I had to take a wild
I
guess.
think it's that and Hogan t-shirt, I think.
What, the one that I got, Stu?
Fuck
What was the
off.
one you got, Stu? Oh, yeah. I think it is, yeah. I'm sure it's between those two.
Really? I didn't think that Hogan actually had a decent T-shirt then. I could see people having Hogan T-shirts, like... But obviously Hogan wore the vest, didn't he? So I would have thought it was Austin 316. I really would. I actually would think that the next one, if I had to guess, was the NWO shirt.
Yeah.
Because they cross over into counterculture at the time of the 90s. They're still worn now.
As well, it's a simple design.
I have just checked it out, and it is the Austin 316 T-shirt.
What's number 2?
Wow. And it's just, white lettering on black T-shirt.
Yep.
Brilliant. Simple.
It's saying here CM Punk.
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't blame him.
Then the NWO.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Yeah.
I don't know how...
Can't be right all the time.
No, I just think it's so iconic. And what I would say for everybody to do, if you haven't, go and watch it. Because it's on YouTube, and just watch the way Austin starts. The way he steps up to those steps. You're watching a really mega moment. Yeah. It's not taken away from the win, but the speech is more important.
It's a career-defining moment.
Yeah, which he probably doesn't even know at that point. He's just going up there trying to be different, trying to be more edgier product, this sort of thing. But this is when it really catches fire. And this is the beginning of it really catching fire.
Did he ever manage to follow him on? Because usually the King of the Ring elevates, doesn't it, to the main event?
No, he did not. And they played this up on a really cool episode of Live Wire, which you can go and watch, which has got Sonny and Todd Pettengill on it. And it is the funniest live episode you have ever seen of Live Wire, right? People probably won't remember this, but probably the funniest thing they put out at the time, because Austin stays in that hard character saying, I'm going to kick his ass, I'm going to do this and all that sort of stuff. But it's set in WWF New Generation style, and they don't know how to deal with him. He's just walking around like a complete rebel. Like, I think he tells a story about how Bret Hart's a coward, and how he went round the house and he beat Stu's ass as well. And it's just so funny. He goes, I beat Bret Hart in the dungeon, and then old Stu, I got him down, I beat his ass as well. And it's like, it's so funny to watch.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's another thing that you can watch after that. He did not. He ended up having a match with Yokozuna on the free-for-all.
Right, okay. Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, lovely.
I just think it's the defining moment, probably, of the Attitude Era. It's beginning. It's the start of really it taking off, and you're beginning to see a change. And that this is what will rival WCW, because they need something. Because at this point, near enough exactly at this point, you've had Bash at the Beach happen, and you've had the NWO.
Yeah, it's at the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you've got two mega things happen. You've got Hogan turn heel and the Outsiders situation on WCW. Then you've got the beginnings of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah. Nice. Good pick.
Yep.
Right. I'm going for my one next to us.
Go on.
Mine is actually a King of the Ring qualifying match, an opening round qualifying match, aired on Smackdown on the 5th of May 2006. I've picked this purely because it was just so underrated, and genuinely I do feel like it slipped through the cracks. And it's not really remembered that much because it was an opening round qualifier. And it is between Chris Benoit and Finley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember this match.
Yeah, I've seen this match. It's a really, really nice little match.
It's 22 minutes in length. The annoying thing is about the episode is during this match, during the episode it cuts for a break, in which obviously you miss 5 minutes of the fucking match because we all know that American TV likes to milk their adverts for as long as fucking possible.
Oh, I am going to bring that up in the news.
which is really fucking irritating. But you've got two solid grapplers and two amazing ground workers who are so knowledgeable of each other's talents and in-ring capabilities, and they put on. I genuinely feel like this is a proper classic, old school wrestling match.
Yeah, well, you've got two people there who are technicians, and you've got. I mean, they do come from the old school, really. Their background. I mean, especially if you're in there with Finley.
Yeah.
With that European style, you're going to wrestle that way. And
it's brilliant. I mean, the counter moves in this, submission moves in this, and it's an absolute, and I know it's the Benoit name coming up again.
Yeah, it's still always difficult.
You got to separate the art from the artist, and that's what I try to do with Benoit. Yeah. We've talked about him before. Just separate the art from the artist, please, and hear me out. This match is fucking brilliant.
Yep.
It's a proper, like I said, a proper old school testament to old school wrestling.
It's a really good pick because it's at a time where the King of the Ring is struggling.
Oh, he's dead on his ass.
It's not on pay-per-view.
No.
And it's,
Well, like you said, you got to know qualifying matches is on fucking Smackdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was always done that way.
Yeah.
Before sort of, I mean, it would be done on a Raw, it would be done on the Superstars going back the qualifying.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an honourable mention here.
I think I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going because we've talked about it a lot, but I'll let you go.
Yeah, go on. Right, my only pick, my best pick, is from the 1994 edition of the Single Elimination Tournament.
Ooh.
And it happened in the semi-finals of the pay-per-view.
Ooh.
It was the 1-2-3 Kid versus Owen Hart.
This is a great match.
Yeah.
This match only lasted 4 minutes, but this match is probably one of the best 4-minute matches you will ever see. So the 1-2-3 Kid is beaten down at the end of his previous match. So he's like limping out to the ring. The Kid was standing on the floor, and Owen hits this suicide dropkick out of nowhere, just takes him out. Throws him back in, does a superfly splash off the top rope. There's spinning heel kicks, there's enziguri kicks, there's a Northern Light suplex, dives over the rope to the floor. Owen hits a bridging German suplex and a belly to belly for the 2 count. There's a pin attempt off the shoulders of Owen by Kid that's reversed into a pin by Owen.
Fuck me, you've got it in detail here, man.
Owen hits a power bomb and slaps on the sharpshooter for the win at 3 minutes and 37 seconds. This is what the new generation was all about.
Yeah,
nice.
I believe. Oh God, because I have to try and remember this match because I haven't watched it recently. Wasn't the urgency because the Kid was injured? Wasn't the Kid injured?
Sure
He wasn't he beaten up by someone after a match?
At the previous match, in the first round, he was beaten down.
I've got a feeling it was Jeff Jarrett.
I think it was Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, it's weird as well because in the 1998 King of the Ring tournament, they actually had another match: X-Pac versus Owen Hart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, that's my pick.
Merge.
My best one.
There we go. Yes. Right, it's over to James with his worst pick.
His bad one.
Well, I'm going to give an honourable mention first.
Ooh.
I'm going to give 2 actually.
Ooh.
And they're not
2.
One of them's not going to be long because it come on the podcast last time. I believe I picked this match for one of my matches which gets forgotten about.
Yeah.
And that's King of the Ring 1993 semi-final, Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect.
Awesome match.
Yep. It's an amazing match.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, shame on you.
Okay.
And my...
Thanks for the input there, Jonny.
The only reason I didn't go for that is because I'd done it before.
Okay.
I'm sure I'd done it on episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, it might have been actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's been brought up.
Even like you said before we started recording, you were surprised that I didn't have Mick Foley and Mankind.
I was. I could see someone having that because it is at King of the Ring.
Yeah. I deliberately stayed away from that.
I think Jonny certainly knows what mine's going to be. Now, this one is a qualified match that doesn't. It's a qualifier to get in the King of the Ring.
Right.
Yes.
And this was such a cool little I don't even know what you call it. Angle, I suppose. It's Mr. Perfect versus Doink.
Yeah.
From the original 1993 qualifier. And they keep drawing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 3 matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a best of 3 matches. And I'm sure there's loads of Doinks involved as well at one point.
I know they had the first match on Superstars, maybe?
They had one on Raw, didn't they?
And they had one on Wrestling Challenge.
Yeah. I think they have 3 matches over
the
this.
last one was on Wrestling Challenge because I watched it recently.
And I'm sure that there are double Doinks involved at some point as well. I'm sure that Doink actually wins and that gets overturned.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. But it's a really good match. All 3 matches.
Yeah,
they
they're
are
really good matches.
Yeah.
So,
good.
I wanted to get that in there.
Good mention. Yeah,
because,
very good mention.
And again, go on YouTube and have a look at them. Because
they're all on there because that's where I watched them.
I think they're on the network as well. Although maybe not. Maybe the Raw one is.
That's the WWE Network.
Yes.
Give us some freebies.
But going back to Mr. Perfect Bret Hart match.
Yep.
I was always a little bit disappointed by their 93.
Get out.
I don't know why. Maybe I need to go back and watch it now.
I thought it was a classic. I thought it was better. I thought the whole build-up for it, where they were both faces.
Yeah.
I actually... Do you know what I think? I think it should have been the final.
Yeah.
Because if you're going down the route of the angle that you're going to have Jerry Lawler smash up Bret's thing, I think it would have been better as the third match if they'd have done it that way and had the handshake at the end and all of this. Yeah. And Bret wins.
Bam Bam won. Would he have come out then and smashed everything up? But if it was 2 good guys at the end, I see what you mean. Like Perfect. If Perfect had won it,
that's got instant awesome storyline written all over it.
I just think because you're going to go the Lawler route and you know you're going to go there, you don't have to have a heel versus face match at the end.
Exactly.
I think that those 2 could have put on an absolute clinic, which they did.
Yeah.
But I think if that was the final, I think that would have been higher on people's list of remembrance because it's a semi-final.
Yeah.
Because that had such a cool little build-up.
Yeah.
They both talked about beating up my dad could beat your dad up at the start of a little promo. Yeah. The match is great. The reason I go for it, Jonny, is because when I watch SummerSlam 91 back, I don't want to say it's overrated because it's an amazing match. I can see Kurt Henning's injured in it.
Yeah.
I can see it. And I just think this match, they're both fully fit. And it's got a great story. Perfect injures the knee of Bret in it.
Yeah.
Carrying on like... But for a while, Bret's knee, I think, was injured for about a year.
Yeah,
really?
I think so, yeah.
No, I'm just saying fucking laughing because everyone... Bret must have limped to the ring nearly every time he went. Because if you think back to like WrestleMania as well, WrestleMania 10. Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, Owen kicks his leg from underneath him because he's hurt his knee.
That's right. Yeah.
Then you've got an injured knee in King of the Ring 93. It was like a storyline.
Yeah. It was good at selling it.
Yeah.
But,
for a whole year.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll have to go back and rewatch it. But I do agree with you. If it was in the main event of King of the Ring, I think it would have been more remembered more.
Yeah.
But I think I only went with the SummerSlam one is because that is more remembered.
Yeah, and that's my issue. Again, it's down to subjectivity. It's down to personal preference. I think the SummerSlam match is quite short. I think knowing that Perfect is injured puts it off. And I just would have loved to have seen Bobby down at ringside instead of the coach.
Yeah, that's true. They did have a feud in WCW as well. I don't remember it that well, but I know they feuded over the US title, I think it was.
I think Kurt was...
They weren't in their best.
Yeah, I think certainly Kurt Hennig, when he went to WCW, went for a paycheck. Yeah. I really do. I don't think you'll find many classic Kurt Hennig or Mr. Perfect matches in WCW.
No, unfortunately. No. But good honourable mentions there.
Yeah, sorry, that was
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Now we're on the bad ones.
Yeah, now we're on to the shit ones.
Right, well, do you want us to go?
Yeah, because we got the same one, haven't we?
This one's terrible.
Yeah.
This is
Okay. Yeah.
This is a favourite of everybody's on the Facebook page because I've seen it. But I'm going to add a little bit more to it. So this is Mable winning King of the Ring. I think that's pretty obvious. It's definitely the worst pick for King of the Ring.
I have simply put one sentence down for this, which I would like James to deliver in deadly seriousness and your best philosophical voice.
Poor push for a dangerous sack of shite.
I'm done.
Okay.
It was bad, but I like the fact that he used the gimmick.
To an extent, yeah. I can understand why they attempted to do this. I can, because they're looking for a new heel. They're looking for something new here. They're looking for their next big star as a heel. You got to think they've probably just lost Yokozuna, really. You know, he's not doing well. He's gaining a lot of weight, and I think they're looking for a monster at this point, and they turn to Mable. Now, I'm not just going to go on about Mable's actual win here. I'm going to go on about the pay-per-view as a whole. This is the worst fucking pay-per-view, in my opinion, that WWF at the time ever put on. This is an absolute shit show. It's a
fucking disgrace.
I tried to watch this recently, right? And I couldn't watch it. Me and Jonny sat round here and watched the biggest piles of shit that wrestling has ever delivered. And I would still rank this at number one. Because there's not even any funniness to this. It's just shit.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
And there are actual stars on this that could have made this better. Like, you've got, Shawn Michaels in it, who wrestles Karma to a draw and then's just out of it. You got the Undertaker on there.
He loses, doesn't he, in the first
He
round?
loses because Karma gets involved against Mable.
I'm pretty sure this was his first pay-per-view loss since, for years. Prior for 4 years or something.
It is abysmal. I know that Jonny likes him, so we've been talking about this recently. A lot of the theme of the pay-per-view is around Savio Vega. It's done in Philadelphia, which I'm going to bring up, which you guys are going to laugh about in a minute. Right? Because you know what that crowd's like.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's built around Savio Vega. A lot of this pay-per-view is built around him as a new talent coming in as a replacement for Razor Ramon. And I'm sorry, no one gives a fuck. They just don't give a fuck in the whole thing. They don't. They're trying to push him, but it's not working the whole time. And it's terrible. It is. Watch it again.
Shall I just read off the card very quickly?
Well, I'm just going to mention a couple of things because I'm on a rant here because it's so bad, right? Because I'm going to go back to Mabel's ceremony, which is probably one of the worst parts, right? The only saving grace of this pay-per-view is the fans in the front row. And the only reason why is, and you will notice this, guys, if you watch it, is the ECW faithful at a fucking WWF show, and they are slamming the fucking pay-per-view. They are chanting ECW throughout the pay-per-view. And you can tell, I think Vince says something along the lines of, we've got people here who are supporting a local promotion or something like that. Yeah. Because they're so loud. They're slamming people like Cornette, who are the managers. I think Road Dogg tells them to shut up seriously at one point. As the roadie. Because he comes into the ring, they are just proper ECW. In the middle of this pile of shit that WWF are putting on. I mean, listen to this for a main event, right, after King of the Ring. Diesel and Bam Bam Bigelow versus Sid and Tatanka.
Yeah, with Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, that's your main event. Yeah. You know?
17 minutes that match went on for.
It's abysmal. Now, the biggest pile of shit that happens, do any of you remember Mo from Men on a Mission?
Yeah, Mo.
Right. So, after Mable wins, which nobody gives a fuck about in the whole audience, right, Mo gets this big scroll out, yeah, and gives this monologue that feels like it goes on for about 5 hours. And it's so fucking bad that the crowd begin to throw rubbish at Mable and him. And you can tell they're angry. And if you actually watch, it's not hate, it's where they're fucked off. They're like, this is bollocks. And they're literally throwing their fucking wrappers from burgers at Mable. They hit him on the fucking head. He's on the throne.
Paper cups.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
And if you look in the background, the security are going crazy to try and sort out, but they are coming from left field. They are coming from every fucking where, these things. It's just terrible. And anyone who wants to defend this pay-per-view, please try. Because I'd love to hear it. It is fucking atrocious.
I will just read out the card very quickly. So from opening match to the main event, you've got Savio Vega with Razor Ramon, who defeated IRS with Ted DiBiase.
Right, I'll tell you what that is. That is a house show match that is purposely put on to highlight in the video.
It shows because it lasted 5 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah.
And then next is
Savio again.
Savio Vega with Razor Ramon again defeated Yokozuna with Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji by count out.
Yep.
After that, you've got the Roadie with Jeff Jarrett, who defeated Bob Holly.
This match I actually enjoyed.
I don't remember that one at all.
Road Dogg pretty much facing Holly.
Yeah. Next, you have Karma with Ted DiBiase versus Shawn Michaels, which ended in a time limit draw.
Yep.
Straight after that is Mable with Mo defeated The Undertaker and Paul Bearer.
Yep.
Next is Savio Vega with Razor Ramon again, who defeated the Roadie with Jeff Jarrett. Next, you have a Kiss My Foot match with Bret Hart beating Jerry Lawler by submission. Straight after that, you have the King of the Ring final, Mable with Mo, who defeated Savio Vega in 8 minutes and 32 seconds of utter shite. And then straight after that is the main event, which is Bam Bam Bigelow and Diesel, who defeated Psycho Sid and Tatanka with Ted DiBiase in a tag team match, which lasted 17 minutes 35 seconds.
About as long as Mo's fucking speech.
Did you know Mable actually had a title belt made after he won this tournament? A proper King of the Ring championship title belt. He appeared on, I think it was like USWA in Memphis with it a few times, but never actually on like WWF TV.
Do you know what I love about this as well, Jonny, right? Go back and watch this when they do the coronation.
Yeah.
And when the fucking crown is made out of like the floppiest foil you have ever seen. And it looks like they're putting, a Christmas cracker hat on top of its head. And it's so funny.
Do you know what I was going to compare it to is the ones you used to get as a kid at Burger King.
Yeah.
That were made out of floppy card. I've just looked, I've just been looking online and had a look at the actual, the full lineup, starting from first round TV qualifiers for
there's
that
better
year King
people.
of the Ring. And I've just remembered, we've talked about this. Now, Mabel's opening first round match was against who?
It was against Adam Bomb and he squashed him.
1 minute 54 seconds, and that was the start of the downfall of his push.
Yep. And here's what's interesting. When you look at some of the matches that are actually the qualifying matches, and even like you've just read out the cards, you could have made a decent event out of this. Like Lex Luger versus Yokozuna.
I literally was just about to say that.
Yeah.
You got the Roadie versus Doink the Clown.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's such a shit.
King Kong Bundy versus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I mean, Michaels should have gone into at least semi-final or something like that.
Jeff Jarrett versus The Undertaker.
Yeah, well, it's better than... I know that Jonny likes the match, but having Jeff Jarrett in there would be better than having, Bob Holly or someone like that, or, I know that it's a face and a heel. It's just a lack of talent in the whole thing, because all the decent stars, whether you like them or not, go out in the first round and there's a pile of shit left at the end.
So, on Wikipedia, King of the Ring 1995, do you know what their opening paragraph is?
pile of shit.
It states, the 1995 King of the Ring was the third annual King of the Ring professional wrestling pay-per-view event produced by the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, that featured the 9th King of the Ring tournament. It took place on June 25th, 1995 at Core State Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This pay-per-view is somewhat notorious among WWE fans as it is considered one of the worst ever pay-per-views produced by the company.
And I didn't even know that was written on there. I can't watch this. Fuck me. Me and Jonny watched the fucking Nitro, which was the New York Rules match the other Rules matches the other day, didn't we?
We did, yes, and that was bad enough.
That was Thunder, actually, wasn't it?
Was it Thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Thunder, yeah.
The New Bloods versus the fucking Millionaires Cup. I would have rather watched that 10 times over than watch this fucking pay-per-view.
I've just seen a little pack underneath there. Do you know who the ushers were for that match? For that whole pay-per-view?
Were they the Hardy Boys?
Correct.
Yeah.
It was Jeff and Matt Hardy.
And they were wearing the purple and yellow outfits, which, an interesting fact, do you remember the Nacho Man and the Huckster?
Yeah.
They wore the same outfits.
Did they really?
Yeah.
There we go. So, on to Johnny's worst moment.
I'm really sorry that I give that loads, but I've been waiting
It's
to...
crap.
I think that's
Sorry.
the worst thing that they've ever done. And I really wanted to give that some.
That's fine. I think you've done it justice.
Fair enough.
I don't think I give it enough. I could have done a whole episode on that.
Right, my worst pick. And it's actually from the 1994 King of the Ring again.
Ooh.
So, at the time, many of the biggest stars had gone and WWF were pushing a lot of their younger, smaller talents. Like Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, the 1-2-3 Kid and Owen Hart.
Ooh.
Now, the 1994 King of the Ring would be the beginning of the new generation. Now, what better way than to represent the new generation than putting Rowdy Roddy Piper, who debuted in 1968 and at this point had more years in the ring than both Gorilla Monsoon at 22 years and Randy Savage, 21, who were both on commentary.
Tread very carefully.
His opponent, Jerry Lawler, who became a household name in 1982 during his feud with Andy Kaufman. Piper even main evented the first WrestleMania, and these two had even been wrestling when the Beatles were still together. They did not represent the new generation at all.
Yeah, this was the fucking main event, wasn't
Yes, yeah. So since Roddy was too busy to appear on any show due to filming the action classic Tough and Deadly with Billy Banks, Jerry brought in an imposter to beg the King not to hurt him. Now, Piper promised to donate a portion of his winnings to the hospital of sick children. I don't know why it was only a portion. Why couldn't he have donated the whole lot?
What's that, what, Piper?
Yeah, he was going to donate a portion of his winnings to the sick children in the hospital. Piper, Jerry Lawler, though, said if he won, he'd give him $1.
Yeah.
Or a cent or something like that. Yes. The match was painful to watch. It was like the cowardly heel tried to leave early. Bad guy pulled object from his tights. Jerry tried to pin Piper with his feet so high up on the ropes it was hardly even touching him. The match ended with Piper hitting a terrible belly-to-back suplex on Jerry for the pin.
Yeah, it's horrendous. The shame is, I know that they, because of the storyline and everything, but if you remember, there was actually a pretty decent champion versus champion match in this. Diesel and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And this is actually quite a good match.
Yeah.
It features like the Anvil getting involved and there's some questionable tactics which you learn about at the end, didn't you?
Yeah.
Of King of the Ring. But
I suppose they couldn't put that on last because of...
no, that's what the shame is, because really that match last would have made the pay-per-view so much better, really.
But
Yeah, it's not really on Piper. Piper's just there for a payday. It's as simple as that. He's not really interested in this at all. And
this was his first match in 2 years? No, maybe 3 years?
yeah, and it's just poor. There's rumours that the two of them didn't get along as well. Like, there was no cooperation in the ring.
Right.
So, yeah, it is really shit.
Yeah, it was a terrible match.
Just a little fun note, Jonny, as well, because I don't know if you want to interject on this. I love the new generation thing, because that must have had about 10 different leaders.
Yeah.
Because it started with Bret Hart being the leader of the new generation. I remember them going, here comes the leader of the new generation.
Right.
Then
Was it Diesel?
Diesel was the leader. Then Shawn Michaels was the leader. And I can't remember who was the leader after that, but there was fucking...
Yeah, there were probably a few. But new generation.
We've had some feedback on this one.
Okay.
Some very good feedback.
Yeah, I bet you most of them are 1995.
Well, Rob Shepherd has simply started off the comment section with "All hail King Stuart."
Okay.
I remember that King of the Ring.
Fuck off. It's because of the picture.
I know.
I'd rather watch
No, I
you
made it.
fucking win King of the Ring 95, Stu.
Mate, I'd have smashed it.
Yeah, you would have.
Darren End, my favourite King of the Ring was Owen Hart. The birth of the King of Hearts. Least favourite was the year later, 1995. King of the Ring, Mable.
My one was probably my favourite King, I'd say.
Yeah.
Back to 94 again.
Robert Orr. My favourite King of the Ring was Brock Lesnar, as it propelled his career and turned him into the star that he is today. Worst one, probably King Mable, as he had so much potential to do more, but it didn't propel him the way I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Sangwell. Worst King of the Ring moment from pay-per-view, but not the tournament, was the pure protection of Hogan with the exploding camera, which gave Yoko the title.
Yeah, that was
Stupid.
That was fucking bollocks. Does anyone want a little trivia question again?
Go on then.
Go on then.
Who was the cameraman?
Was it Harvey Whipple?
It was.
Yeah.
He's also put Shamrock beating The Rock, I think in 98, right before he really took off and had pay-per-views named after him.
What's that one?
Shamrock beating The Rock.
Was that the finals?
What?
98.
That's the best one.
Worst.
Worst. Okay.
Yeah.
My worst was Billy Gunn winning the tournament.
I agree. I think Jim's made a really good point there, because I think both Ken Shamrock and Billy Gunn were not used very well.
I think Shamrock only won because he was winning the tournaments of the UFC. And they brought him in to win the tournament of... Well, he was already there, but it was kind of to add to that.
It just went nowhere.
No.
They didn't give it any fanfare whatsoever.
No.
Like, there was no honour in winning that King of the Ring.
No.
Yeah. He's also put two more comments as Jim. As he states, so this was ripped from Wikipedia. I don't remember this stupidity at all, but we'll definitely be watching it. And it is the McMahon-Helmsley fraction. Triple H as a captain, Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon versus The Rock, Kane and The Undertaker
Yes.
for the WWF Championships, where if Triple H, Shane or Vince was pinned or submitted, Triple H would lose his title to whoever scored the fall.
Yeah.
I'm going to shock everyone here. It does kind of work.
I enjoyed this.
Yes. All I can remember about the start of this match is Shane and Triple H keep going to Vince, "You're alright, Joe Cole." Do you remember that? Be Joe Cole, like that. Here comes Joe Cole, because he's stressed out, and they keep going. They keep calling him Joe Cole, and patting him on the fucking back and everything. This match isn't as bad as it sounds. The reason why, the idea behind it, Jim, was that Kane, the Undertaker, and The Rock would fight each other, because one of them's got to score the pinfall.
Yeah.
So it was kind of supposed to be the odds are stacked against all of them, because not only are we going to beat them up, but they're going to beat each other up, because only one of them can win the title.
Did The Rock win?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the last one Jim's put is, if we could also hear your thoughts on the greatest wrestling king, as in ones that ran with a king gimmick. Can include Lawler, who obviously didn't win the tournament, of course. So, who's your favourite king?
I'm going to go with two. Jerry the King Lawler's one of them.
Yep.
Because he just is. He's the King, Jerry Lawler. The other one is the one I mentioned earlier, Eddie Gilbert. He died very, very early. He was very synonymous with being an expert booker.
Yeah.
And they reckon we lost a really good wrestling mind very early on.
Yeah.
Jonny?
I could say Jerry Lawler, but I'm going to go for King Kong Bundy because he was big and he was bald and he didn't have a crown and I don't really know why he was a king, really.
I'm just going to go with Kong.
Who?
King Kong.
King Kong.
Kong, what, the ape?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was best king ever, wasn't he?
King Arthur as well.
King of the Apes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kicked Mecha Godzilla's arse recently and Godzilla himself.
Is there other kings from
no.
films?
No. The King's Speech? No.
I quite
Godzilla.
like the King's Speech.
King Kong. There you go.
You ever seen King Dong?
Yeah. You're talking to him.
King Dong.
King Dong, is there actually...
He's talking to him. Yeah, there probably is a porn rip-off parody of that. But
I'm not looking it up. Fucking hell.
Oh, you're happy to look up pictures of Buff Bagwell?
I can't get over it.
Isn't it?
He probably is.
Yeah, King Kong. There we go.
There we go.
There ends our best and worst moment.
Yeah, the other one could be Savage.
No.
There's the Macho King. No?
He won the tournament.
Did he?
Yeah.
But could he beat King Kong? No. So there you go. My answer wins.
Yeah, but King Kong ain't a fucking wrestler, is he?
Have you not seen Kong versus Godzilla?
Does it take place in a ring?
Well, you could say that.
There we go.
Fuck a pair of you.
On to the news.
Yeah, it's the news. Dun, dun, dun. I'll wait for James's great impression of Bad News Barrett. Go!
I've got some bad news.
Fucking nailed it.
Look at that. Watch out.
Right. Where do we start?
Where do we start?
There's been quite a lot going on recently, hasn't there?
So, who wants to go first?
Do you
want me to go first?
Why not? Oh, God, that went a bit high pitched, didn't it?
It did.
Even the dog's staring at me going, what the fuck are you doing?
This is in no order, but Goldberg.
Oh, fuck off.
He's now a free agent.
Who gives a fuck? Oh,
Would you like to see Goldberg in AEW?
no. I wouldn't like to see Goldberg in a fucking ring.
I would like to see it.
Yeah, I would as well.
No.
I think that it could be hilarious. I think you could have a clusterfuck, and I honestly don't think that Tony Khan can control these bigger individuals with bigger egos. I think you could have like Goldberg fuck up a match or get pissed off in the middle of a match and like go WCW. You know, like where it fucks up completely in the match. I would love it.
I think they could bring him in for a short-term contract, a couple of matches. I'd like to see him have a match with MJF. I think the promos could be really good. I think Kenny Omega could get a good match out of him. I think he'd enjoy the challenge of trying to get a good match out of him.
Fuck are you
And Chris Jericho.
Jericho, potentially because of their past, but that was kind of nixed in WWE and Bad Blood. No, the other two I just can't see.
I'd like to see it. For a free match contract.
First of all,
Can you imagine
Johnny, I just want to ask you this. Bill Goldberg is the most sensitive individual who looks like a massive bloke ever. Do you honestly think he's going to stand there and let MJF say anything?
Could you imagine him and John Moxley having a first blood match?
I'd keep them as separate, I think. I don't think I'd like that match.
That would be over in 5 seconds.
It would be over before the bell because most of the time they're bleeding before the match starts.
No, I'm really sorry, Johnny, on this one. My foot's going down. Abso-fucking-lutely not. No way.
I would like to see it because I'd like to see what chaos it would cause.
Fuck a pair of you.
And I like AEW at the moment.
Yeah.
But I would just like to see what damage he could do. Because he could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but that's the main reasons why I wouldn't want to see him in there. He potentially could fuck up a lot of good wrestlers.
I'm talking more political.
Oh, no, I mean...
The politics...
He's a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Sorry. No.
What's next?
Nothing about Goldberg. Fuck off.
He'll be the mystery opponent of Bobby.
Oh, no.
It's a swerve.
No.
Who do you think the mystery opponent will be? We're talking about WrestleMania, aren't we?
Matt
We
Cardona.
can.
Should we leave it till Friday?
We can talk a little bit about it,
Matt Cardona.
but not too much. Matt Cardona, no. Do you know
He's
what
there.
I would do? Do you know what I would do? If Bray Wyatt's coming back, why can't it just be Uncle Howdy?
Oh, do you know, I'm
Should we talk about Bray Wyatt?
I'm really hoping this is a work, and it is going to be there.
Nah.
But I can't see it. No,
Nah.
I can't see it happening. But I'd love to have seen it as it's a work.
We'll talk about it later in more detail. I just can't see if Bray was injured. I can't see if there wasn't any issues going on. I can't see why you couldn't have put Uncle Howdy in that position.
Yeah.
I just don't think it would make sense to have the build-up. Bobby Lashley wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and then does an open challenge. It don't make sense of them already starting the story, stopping the story, and then open challenge. I'm done with it.
It could be Jay White.
I don't think he'd be known that well.
No, I'm
People-
just throwing someone out there. It could be Jay White. I'm looking at someone who's about. It could be Ibushi. It could be. They're both free agents at the
Could
moment.
be anyone.
One I wanted to bring up is, and I mentioned it to you guys on our little message group, the shit that's going on with Rick Steiner at the moment and Giselle Shaw.
I ain't got much to say. I just think it's fucking.
It's
Banned now. Isn't it?
it's fucking disgraceful, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I read all of it on Twitter. I don't know how true all of it is or anything.
I mean, if it is true,
yeah,
we got to use that word of ours again, allegedly.
Allegedly.
If it is true, fucking shame on you.
Yeah, I've just been learning about all this when you posted about it.
Yeah.
I went on Twitter and had a look, and basically Rick Steiner hasn't said anything. Not that that's necessarily needed, but in this case, when I was looking, it's all up in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
It's still an ongoing situation at
Yeah.
the moment, and unfortunately, it ain't going to look good, and it's going to reflect badly on. I'm pretty sure it's Impact. He's still contracted with as a name.
Hopefully it doesn't reflect on Bron Breakker.
Well, yeah, there is that as well.
Now there's a name that it could
Yes. Yeah, there's
Right.
talk of him coming up.
because
I've read that as well.
because he lost the title.
Yes.
So it could be Bron Breakker.
That's with Bobby Lashley. We're stating. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry,
Big
we're
Bobby.
not that professional. We're actually just sitting here having a chat.
We're just talking bollocks out loud, really, aren't we?
Because that's what we do.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about the
Yeah.
Rick Steiner situation. If anyone hasn't heard anything about it, I would go online and just do a bit of research. I'm going to leave it at that.
You can explain it if you want, but
Yeah.
I don't really understand everything that's going on.
So allegedly, there's been some slanderous names and comments made at Giselle Shaw, who's obviously a transgender wrestler. And since these comments have been made, they've all come to light. And a lot of other wrestlers, especially on the female roster, have come forward as well saying, yeah, this is true. It's all open to allegation at the moment. Unfortunately, nothing has been specified. I know Impact have released a statement saying they won't tolerate this sort of behaviour, which, rightly so, and they should. And if it is proven to be true, fuck off, man. We're in the 21st century. Fucking grow up.
I now know what it's about, and some of the names sound like stuff from the school playground, quite frankly, if that is what it is about.
Yeah, fucking disgraceful. There's no need for it, man. No need at all.
No need.
Did this happen recently?
Quite
or
recent. I think it's definitely been in the last year.
Okay.
But I couldn't clarify. I haven't found enough,
There isn't anything out there. There's just a
No.
Twitter post from her and then everyone's supporting her.
Yeah.
Another news story.
Yep.
MLW, Major League Wrestling's lawsuit against WWE.
Okay.
It's been going on since early 2022. The story is that WWF tried blocking MLW from running certain venues.
Right.
WWE also blocked the deal between MLW... Sorry.
And it all went wrong!
WWE also blocked the deal between MLW and Fox TV.
Right.
From allowing it to happen. Another allegation includes Triple H contacting Madison Square Garden and persuading them to cancel the upcoming MLW G1 Ring of Honor show.
Right.
And also WWE have been tampering with contracts from MLW.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's been going on for a while, well, over a year now, this lawsuit.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I didn't even know anything about that.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Wow. Any more news?
Yes. Have you got any more news?
I did want to talk about Ring of Honor pay-per-view recently.
Yes. It was a great pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any standout moments for you?
Yes. My favourite matches I enjoyed the AAA Mega Championship match with Vikingo and Commander. That could have easily main evented the show. Fantastic match. Samoa Joe, Mark Briscoe.
Loved it.
Awesome match.
Yeah.
Wonderful post-match.
Great to see him having a singles push.
Yes. I can see that story carrying on as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
The main event, Eddie Kingston versus Cesaro.
What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I like Eddie Kingston.
I do. Yeah.
I still one day would like to see him become AEW World Champion.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
I do. I thought it was a good match.
He's a journeyman, isn't he? Who's got a good
Yes.
story to him.
It's the only issue I had with it was lacking a bit of, I don't know, personality.
Yeah,
is the right word.
Yeah.
Just and that's not knocking Eddie Kingston. That's from me. That's coming from Cesaro.
Yeah, I think this was a problem in WWE that they felt.
Yeah. Nigel McGuinness returns.
Yeah,
to the company. Right. Vincent and Dutch have both come back as well.
It's good for Ring of Honor.
Yes.
It's a shame for if we bring up the topic later.
Yeah, we will.
And the Reach for the Sky ladder match is amazing, but unfortunately it's overshadowed by the injury to Dante Martin.
Oh, yeah. Speedy recovery to him. I have read recently that he is now out of hospital, but holy shit, was that bad.
Do we want to talk about the implications of keep doing these stunts? Are they needed?
I think sometimes maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what happened was he sold the move, I think, which is what happened. And he came down and he's just, if you think of Sid from WCW, how that
I can't watch that.
Then pretty much the same thing almost.
I'm not necessarily for or against them. It is a topic going around.
Yeah.
Like, are these now becoming too much?
Yeah.
Because, not being funny, it didn't look that stable, the structure that they made in the first place.
Yeah.
Also, the way that they were running across the ladder didn't look that great. You know, like I think someone nearly slipped through the rungs as they were trying to do it, and I'm just putting it out there. I've just seen a lot of people saying like these stunts we need to start drawing back on them as fans because they're potentially could end careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big E. It's been 1 year since he had his injury.
Okay, do we put him in the list then of potential Bobby Lashley opponents?
Nowhere near ready.
No.
Is he not?
No.
And there's talk that he might not come back at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
He looked. I've seen the video clip of him walking around backstage, and he looks very stiff.
He's happy to not come back, he said as well.
That's really strange because I thought that he was on the road to recovery, and here's the reason why. I watched something from a local news company where he picked up someone and ran along with them. Did anyone see that?
No.
No, don't think so.
Yeah, he picked someone up in a fireman's carrier and ran along with them.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, okay. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to see him back. I do like Big E.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
he's a really nice guy, isn't he?
He's Big E.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't knock him.
No.
You can't. You really can't.
Another thing, the WWE gambling plans. You heard about this?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
ridiculous.
They are attempting to legalise betting on matches. And part of the process would include mapping out storylines and match winners months in advance and not letting talent know who is winning until just before the match takes place.
No, this is an art form. This is not a competition or a sport.
Yes.
It's an art form. And that's what everyone's got to get used to, why there are opinions allowed on this sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's similar to looking at a portrait and all having different thoughts and opinions on something, which is fine. It is a subjective art form and it is not something for business in any way, shape or form, because it is not competitive. It is not.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
No. Yeah. I don't think it's going to... I think it's been laughed at pretty much.
I know that they've tried it.
It is. It's fucking laughable.
I heard the idea was that they were going to keep the winner in an envelope and right at the end somehow show you officially them open it
Fuck's sake.
Right.
or something to show who... What's the point? You don't bet on the ending of a fucking film, do you?
Apparently they're doing it because you can now bet on the...
Well, yeah, but this...
Right, I'm bringing this back to Kong versus Godzilla. Who's going to win? You know, it's taking bets
Well,
on
let's all bet
that.
on it then.
Heel turn.
It's not to knock wrestling because we love wrestling.
Yeah.
It's competitive for the individuals within getting to that next step and getting up the cards.
Yeah.
But it is not a competitive sport where you actually have to go out there and physically win. So why would you bet on it?
Yeah.
It's predetermined.
I don't know.
Next.
That'd be like me. That'd be like me. Like I like the golf coming up, right?
Yeah.
The Masters, right? That'd be like me betting on it, and they've already decided who's going to win.
Yeah. Well, sorry,
Then if say for example, Stu, right? They see there's loads of betting coming, which doesn't suit them, so they'll change the winner.
Yeah.
They'll turn around and go, well, we can make more money if we choose this person to win, so we'll choose the other person
Do you
to
think Paddy
fuck.
Power's going to take odds on bets as to which member of the EastEnders cast is going to snuff it on the Christmas Day episode?
I don't know if they do that or not, do they?
I don't know.
If they do, that's fucking stupid, isn't
I
it?
think this was brought up because you can now bet on the award shows, like the Oscars and stuff like that.
Oh,
who's gonna win. So I think it's kind of come from there.
That's total bollocks, isn't it?
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because you can rig it.
Yeah.
You can rig it to make money. If you're in with the betting companies, you've only got to see where the money is to change the fucking outcome, ain't you?
Yeah.
And make a profit out of it.
Or you can just let Warren Beatty open the envelope and read the wrong fucking name out to start with.
Yeah.
So,
That was the greatest thing ever. You talk about the one when when they all went up on stage, they were cheering, they went, sorry, it's the wrong film. It's actually...
He read the wrong, or he was given the wrong envelope or something like that. How'd you fuck that up?
That was amazing.
Those
people were so happy on stage.
Just to have that award go, yeah, sorry. Fucking hell. Anyway, next.
Vince McMahon has signed a new employee contract which gives him full rights to his likeness and story.
He's also got a new tash.
Yes, that's the big news.
And he will also earn $1.2 million per year.
Yeah, whatever.
Just on that tash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe someone from the Dungeon of Doom can come and shave it off and take his powers away.
Donald Trump will come back and shave my tash match.
Final Door, Forbidden Door, not Final Door, Forbidden Door 2 is apparently it's going to do really well. It's almost sold out straight away. It's obviously going to be run with AEW and New Japan.
Yeah.
It's looking to be even bigger than the last show.
I
can't wait for
No
that.
match. It's rumoured to be Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega 2.
Okay.
If Will Ospreay is better, because he's injured at the moment. And CM Punk wants to forgive and forget and return back to AEW.
I've heard this. That's impossible, in my opinion.
But then he went on Twitter and said a load of things about Jericho being a loser. And
he can't help himself.
So there are, do you know what? There are two people that I have seen recently posting on Twitter that have also hinted at him coming back. Now, one of which is our very good friend of the podcast, Danhausen.
Okay.
And obviously referring to Pepsi Man. The other one is Brody King.
Yeah. Would you like to see him come back?
Yeah.
I'd like him to come back.
Yeah, I would.
If he
stops being a dick.
Yeah, if he can make up and just put everything aside and get on with things, then yes, I would like him to come back.
Yeah, I would.
It might not last long, but
it
would be nice to see him.
Yes, I would. I'd like, with all this shit that has happened recently, you know, and all this backstage bollocks and all that other crap that's happened, would we all like to see a good send-off?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for a guy that was away for 7 years to come back to the industry, come back and sign up with AEW to get quite possibly one of the biggest fucking crowd pops of a return you'll ever hear, to leave it all and end it for shit. I would love to see him drop the fucking ego for just 5 minutes and fucking realise you're 40 years old, you are in fact acting like a fucking child. Drop it. Get over it, get over yourself, and fucking go out on a high.
I'd like to see him come back. I would.
I wouldn't.
If he can put everything aside and just make up and
just hug it out.
Hug it out.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible because of him.
Scissor me, Daddy Punk.
Yeah. That's the sad fact about Phil Brooks. It's impossible for him to manage to do that. And I just look at AEW now and I think, especially that they recently had the 4 Pillars thing, which was really cool, and everything like that in the ring with the bar mixer.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, and all that sort of thing. I don't think they need him. I think it's a nostalgia hit for everyone all the time, but the problem is he's just going to cause trouble again.
Can we just give a massive, massive shout out for that promo involving Sammy Guevara, MJF, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy?
Yeah, it was great.
That was awesome, and I proper belly laughed at 2 of those comments.
They should just focus on that now, in my opinion. I didn't think... This is why I was always a little bit funny with Punk, and I always have been. I didn't think this was going to end well. I didn't expect it to end go like it did as quickly as that.
Less than a fucking year.
Yeah,
man.
and I'd just cut ties. I wouldn't bother because his track records, it's almost like fool me once, shame on, you know, and all that, innit?
Don't shit on your own doorstep, especially don't do it twice.
You know,
3 times even now.
I just don't think they need it.
But yeah, I just like that slight tangent there about that that promo. Have you seen it, Jonny?
Yeah.
Two of the comments that were made that one of them I had tears rolling down my eyes because it's not even that funny. It was just how it was delivered when MJF took off the shades, took off the hat, and Darby Allin just went, "Dude, you look like shit." But it was the one pop that MJF made to Sammy Guevara. Oh, look, Sammy Guevara, I'll be married or engaged to somebody else in the locker room in 7 months' time.
Yeah,
that was savage.
Someone said something that made me laugh about maybe you would be a champion if you stopped fighting everyone in the dressing room or something like that. It was done well, and it was all young talent in there, and I don't think they need these people as much as they think they do.
It looks like that's going to be, I think, the next main event, a four-way.
Fatal four-way.
And I think what's going to happen every week is going to be MJF with one of those different individuals in that match and focusing on his own story with each one of those.
Yeah.
Like last week it was Jungle Boy, then next week it'll be someone else, and it'll be...
I like to see the young talent given a chance. These guys go out there and they fucking try.
Yeah.
It's what Darby Allin said.
Yeah.
Exactly what Darby Allin said about all the... And then he laughed at the end and went, if you don't give me a title shot, I'm just going to go and cry on Twitter.
Yeah.
That is spot on, because he's there and he's actually working his
been there
bollocks
since
off
day one.
for the love of the craft. Yeah. And really, all of those guys have.
See, and I will be openly honest, I was never a massive fan of Darby Allin to start with. But since all this has come about, and like you said, you can see the effort that he's putting in. He's there week in, week out. Every, pay-per-views, house shows, fucking conventions and shit like that. But they're all doing it.
Yeah.
And fuck me, they put the work in. These guys deserve it. And my next question, very quickly, is, obviously we know MJF is a champion. Out of those four, who would you like to either retain the title or win the title?
I'd like to see this go on a while.
Same.
MJF keeps the title
for a little while,
Yep.
but if you're asking me, and this is personal, again, it's my opinion. If you're asking me which one of that load I'd like to see take the title, I'd like Jungle Boy to take it.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy, eventually, I think, not right now.
No.
I think he's not ready.
No, I think that you'd have to do a build. I think you'd have to do a bit... He's perfect babyface. Absolute perfect babyface. He's likeable. He works his bollocks off. I just think like you could go with him, even as an experiment. Why not try it? This is what I'm saying. I know that people will be slamming me punk fans because I know what they're like. I'd rather see Jungle Boy have a shot than some ingrate like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I would.
I don't, personal feelings aside, I don't like Sammy Guevara. I've never really liked him. I've never seen the appeal. And personally, I think he causes too much fucking aggro backstage. I don't think he deserves it.
They did that well with him, though, in the promo, because he wasn't necessarily just there to slam MJF. He was there as a heel as well, because he went after the others, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought they did well with Guevara in there. I think they know what Guevara's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think give it to Eddie Kingston.
I'd like to see it. Yeah, I would. Like, don't get me wrong, I know obviously Moxley's had the title and Omega's had the title and fucking who else has had it now? Jericho's had it. Hangman Page.
I think there's only been 5 champions.
I'd like to see one of these pillars get it and have a little pop at it.
It's the young bloods' time.
Yeah. That's how you build this company.
Yeah. These guys, they're all seasoned veterans. They're great at what they do. I like what they do.
Yeah.
But it's time to step aside.
Yeah, I'd like to see
new blood. It's their time.
I'd like to see a step away from keep looking at what WWE is doing or anyone else. Go with your own talent.
Let's focus on our own homegrown talent, not what we've brought in.
Yeah. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
The originals, like, I know it didn't work out with Hangman originally and things. It was a difficult first title reign. A lot of title reigns like that. It doesn't mean Hangman's not there.
Yeah.
Still. He's still an option.
Yep.
Maybe try him as a heel.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
I just
don't feel, and I'm pretty sure I said this before, like when we talked about him and his first title run. I don't know if it was first time nerves, but I felt he was incredibly ropey.
I think that it's really hard to carry the title first time, and I think it's even harder if you're a babyface.
Yeah.
Because it's a chasing thing. And when you're chasing it, people get behind you, but when you get it, it's almost the end of the story.
Yeah.
And then you've got to continue with it. And I think it's really difficult. Yeah. I think it's easier for a heel.
Yeah.
Because a heel's always going to be chased by that babyface. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, totally.
Yes. Right.
I'm out, man.
I've got no
That's
more
it.
news.
No.
Yeah.
No.
News down.
Oh, yes.
So, where do we go from here?
Bray.
Back to Bray,
Okay,
like
what?
back to Bray in the news. I think part 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which also coincides with our Ring of Honor a bit earlier.
Oh, yes.
With
Vincent.
Butch and Vincent returning. I think we were all excited at the thought of, the whole White Six storyline that was being talked about on social media and everywhere else. Obviously, the reports of Butch and Vincent possibly being the 2 biggest names in the hat to be part of the White Six. And obviously, where now they have returned back to Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I think it's a shame. Biggest names in the hat, I would say that they're the 2 that would have potential and actually would really put a lot of effort in to try and make it work alongside Bray, because they're hungry.
Yeah.
You reach the WWE, and I could see them 2 really going for making an effort with it.
Yeah.
I also really like Vincent.
So,
I really like him.
dig what I'm saying.
Yep. Absolutely. I put him on your guys' radar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely.
I really liked him. I like the whole cult part of it behind him.
So well done.
Like where it's like, it's not supernatural, it's more like a cult leader.
Psychological.
Infectious thing.
Yeah. It's a Charlie Manson thing.
Yeah. Or even similar to, I don't know if anyone's played the video game, like Joseph Seed from Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Have you ever played that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, God, what was his name?
Joseph Seed in Far Cry 5 is a person who believes that he's the next coming of Jesus.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the cult leader from the Waco siege.
I haven't seen that. No.
Oh, mate. The whole news story itself? The siege of Waco? Oh, mate, you need to fucking... Wow.
I'd advise you two to have a look at Joseph Seed as a character.
I've never looked at that.
He is really... They done a small little film. Ubisoft doing it. And the game actually... Everyone said it was kind of like... Not great. Yeah. The story in it is excellent. Because what it is it's set in like... I can't remember. I think it's set in Colorado. In a small little... like proper outback country area.
Yeah.
But what he is he's like a false prophet who everyone gets behind. And the whole place he turns into a Christian in his way.
Okay.
Militia. And you have to take him down. It's really cool. And he's got like 3 apostates and they're his family. And they're called like, different things.
Yeah.
The apostles like he's the father. And one of them's faith.
Okay.
The other one's like conscience and all this. It's really good.
That's quite good.
I've been playing it a bit more recently again. It's a good game. Sorry, we always go on tangents.
That's all right.
but that is a very similar character to... it's a very similar character to have Vincent portrayed. Yeah. Is what I'm going on. I would have preferred to see them 2 over even like Bo.
Yeah.
I like to see new talent that's done well in a smaller promotion given a chance. If you get what I mean. I would have liked to have seen Dutch and Vincent given a shot at it.
But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next. It's just I gave up with... I didn't want to, but I kind of gave up on the whole story.
I was the same.
Oh, same.
I didn't know where we were going.
So excited when he first came back.
Yeah, this big build-up, all this stuff, and even his writer, his main friend writer, has left as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
And unfortunately, it shows.
Yeah, do you want to hear what I heard, guys? So, I heard... Again, this is a rumour.
Allegedly.
I heard that what he wants to do is analogue horror. Right. What is that? Does anyone know what even that is? Because I don't. You guys are more film.
I think, and don't quote me because I might be wrong. I think it's more along the lines of like basically like TV media based platform horror, you know. So it'd be more visual.
This is what I heard. I heard that his idea is to create something analog that's called analog horror.
Right.
If anyone out there in our group knows what that is, here we go, look. We're actually
we're
going
just
on
Googling
Google to see what it is.
Yeah.
Found footage.
Found
film footage technique.
Right. Yeah, I was halfway there.
Okay, so I actually like that, the stuff that it is. I've seen some of that. Like, okay, so anyone out there who's seen... I'll tell you what he's trying to do. He's trying to do something like this on YouTube, like Local 58 and the Mandela Catalogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If any of you guys have seen that, you'll know what it is.
No.
I suggest you actually look it up. You really like it.
Netflix, quite a psychological horror film called Creep.
That's an older film, isn't it?
Right.
No. If you're thinking of the one that's based on the London Underground, it's not that.
Right, I'll tell you what analog horror is.
Wreck.
Yep. But...
Best.
I can now, because I've seen this,
not
tell
the
you...
shit American remake.
It is found footage.
Yeah.
There's found footage with no real beginning and no real end.
Cloverfield.
Similar. If I showed you what's on there, you get it. It's more like it doesn't have to have a meaning.
Yeah.
Like it's just there, and you watch it, and you're like, it makes you ask questions like, where the fuck does this come from? Like that sort of thing. So I get actually what he's trying to do, but it ain't working. It won't work in wrestling.
Shame.
Sorry if that's boring. I just heard it, and I thought it's interesting to bring up what he's actually trying to do. And that is what he's trying to do.
Fair enough.
Anything else, guys?
No.
I think that's it for the news. Do we have anything else?
Oh,
Topics.
I've got one more bit of news, and
Yes.
all it's going to be, we are going to do another show on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right, so all this is going to be about is, because I said I was going to mention this, sponsorship in WWE is getting out of hand.
Massively.
All I'm going to say is, because we are going to do a separate WrestleMania review
Yeah.
and topics, which Jonny will tell us what they are.
Yes, I will do.
But I'm not going to spoil anything for a certain match. I'll give you an example. There was a certain match that was supposed to be a quite serious feud, which is son versus father versus son, or son versus father, whatever way you want to say, which is Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, right? I don't know if anyone noticed this apart from me during, like, the match, but I couldn't take it seriously because it looked like the New Day's rainbow was all around the fucking ringside with that cinnamon toast thing that Rey Mysterio was...
It did make me hungry.
It made you hungry. It was supposed to be a serious feud, Johnny. And it's got like all these cinnamon toast colours around it. What you want for that is you want like a feeling, like an atmosphere of seriousness. Do you know what? Does anyone get that? Like, I watch it back and tell me that it's not too bright.
If they were going to do another cereal, but make it a serious cereal, what cereal would you say is cereal?
Do you know what I would do? I would concentrate on my fucking product.
I'd say Shreddies is quite serious.
I'd say the most serious to me is Bran Flames.
Shreddy Week.
Or
because Ian Botham did the advert for it, and he's serious.
Yeah.
Or Fruit and Fibre.
Special
Ooh,
K.
Whoa, I like that.
What's those little brown sticks? They're like
all brand.
Yeah. All brand.
Found out the hard way.
Similar to Special K, isn't it?
Found out the hard way at a very young age why you shouldn't eat a massive bowl of that.
Yeah.
My ass was like a fucking volcano.
What about like Alpen?
I like it. I love them usually.
What's it?
Yeah,
I
ain't too
like
bad.
it.
Yeah, they're alright, ain't too
Fruit
bad.
and fibre, can't beat it.
Yeah.
I had chocolate pillows this morning.
How the fuck are we on cereals?
Because of fucking Rey Mysterio. He's supposed to be having a serious match, like with his son, who's like disrespects the mother and he's caused all this shit, and he's with the Judgment Day. We're quite dark. and then the ring's covered in rainbow.
I do like cereal.
Here's a very.
Is it just me then?
If you could be sponsored by any brand of cereal, a specific type of cereal, who would it be?
Frosties.
What's that?
Because I just like them.
Oh, mate, you had a perfect opportunity to say because they're great.
I have a new cereal that I'm going to try very soon. I just need to find out what it was called. I remember.
In case any of you don't know, Johnny's on a cereal mission to try. Is it a new?
Every cereal, one box of cereal every week, and I eat a lot of cereal.
We've also got something coming up wrestling wise. When me and Jonny can fit it in. So we have been busy, by the way, guys. We are sorry there's been a little bit of a gap within these episodes. But we are going to start going to car boots and look for the worst wrestling gear, and we will film it for you. It will be
in America. Do they have car boots in America? They have thrift stores.
Garage sales.
Garage sales.
Yes.
Garage sales.
So this is the cereal I'm looking for next.
Oatmeal cream pie cereal.
That's fucking weird, isn't it?
I've also getting this one as well.
Swiss rolls. So, as my question comes back to you, Johnny, what type of cereal would you like to be endorsed by?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I've had about 24 boxes this year already. Well, at the end of the year, I should review this cereal. I should do a podcast on cereal.
You should. People probably fucking watch it.
They probably would. I don't know. I'm going to go on a cereal that I've had this year, and that would be Jaws.
Oh yeah, I saw that
movie cereal.
Yeah.
That was quite a good one. There were shapes of Jaws,
little sharks, basically. Yeah.
What's that one like then? What is it?
It's like multi-grain cereal with shark.
With a bit of a bite. Hey!
This thing is that, it's got fucking Jaws on it.
Yeah, but it's Back to the Future cereal now as well.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
Oh, I saw that
chocolate balls. I'm not sure chocolate
What's
balls.
that got to do with Back to the Future?
I watched these guys once. I told you about these guys. This is a tangent. Fuck it.
Fucking in it, just.
Right, yeah. But
it's almost as good as the moose one we had.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I watched these guys, and they're like 20-year-old Batman cereal.
Oh, so you've shown me that.
Yeah. And when they got it out, it was just one solid fucking lump. They had to hit it.
They did that in Bottom Live, didn't they?
I had a box of Sugar Puffs, and I left it in the cupboard for ages. It was still in date. When I tipped it out, it was one massive cube. One massive Sugar Puffs.
Because there was so much fucking honey on them.
So I threw it against the wall. I don't know why.
What would I have? Oh, it's just, because I've got such a real bad sweet tooth and I am a big kid at heart, it's got to be Lucky Charms.
I've never had Lucky Charms. I've had Mateys.
Oh, no.
Charms.
Proper old school Lucky Charms that gave you type 2 diabetes after one bowl.
What's those ones? Golden Grahams.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, that's their version. Yeah, it's a British equivalent of cinnamon toast, isn't it?
I suppose it is, yeah. I had peanut butter balls a little while ago.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
It's just the way I was sitting.
Did you follow through?
I'm going to bring in a new topic.
Right.
I'm going to bring in, because we love tangents and having a good fucking laugh. So I'm going to bring in that we have to watch something terrible.
I thought you were going to say bring a box of cereal.
Yeah.
Well, we fucking can do if you want. Cereal. But
serial killers.
That sort of fucking thing here.
Oh, yeah.
But something terrible that we've watched from wrestling.
All right, I thought you meant just in general.
So I've
watched a lot of shit.
This is going to be like the start, right?
Yeah.
So me and Jonny recently watched Thunder.
Yeah.
Right, WCW Thunder. From, I think it's the 4th of May 2000. And it was the worst fucking Thunder you could ever imagine. It was Vince Russo's New York sort of street fight rules.
I didn't understand that Battle Royal. I still don't understand it.
Right. So I'm not sure even how to... It's a clusterfuck, right? You need to see this fucking episode.
Right.
Everything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Cool.
When they go for a big spot, the camera misses it every time.
Awesome.
So you don't know why it's happened. And then at the end, this is the greatest thing ever, and I'm going to fucking show you this when this is finished. there's the big mega spot that ends the episode is David Arquette is supposed to come out with a guitar and you know those things that they used to climb up, like the round bits at the sides that are part of the stage? It's Diamond Dallas Page and Jeff Jarrett on top, and he's supposed to hit Jeff Jarrett on the back, right? And there's a gimmick bit in the floor where he's going to fall through and smash through. As he walks out, he falls through the gimmick floor straight through the fucking...
Awesome.
This is David Arquette, and it's caught live, right? It's supposed to be the end. He falls through the gimmick floor on live TV and just goes under, and you can't see him. Fuck knows where he goes.
Awesome.
And they don't know what to do. They keep throwing the camera everywhere. Then there's like Eric Bischoff counts a 3 count on Hulk Hogan with Billy Kidman, and there's no ref or anything.
Let's see this in a minute.
Yeah, and he's like running around with Kidman holding his arm up, and it's a battle royal, the end of it, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit?
All right, we'll check that out in a minute.
The battle royal, every single match on there is about 3 minutes long.
Right.
The battle royal, I'm not kidding, me and Jonny sat and watched it, it felt as long as Wrestle fucking Mania. Right? No one got thrown over. It felt like for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And there were so many people in the ring, you couldn't even see people. You'd suddenly, halfway through, you go, oh yeah, there's Scott Steiner.
Right.
But you didn't even know they were in there because there's so many fuckers. You just need to see it. It's unbelievably bad.
Should we wrap this?
Yeah.
Well,
you got to announce the topics because I want to see. I want to see.
I just think it should be a new thing that we do for a laugh.
Yeah. All right.
Well, before the topics are released, we have something fun, something funky.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Something wonderful.
Oh.
And as always, we leave the best till last. And as I previously mentioned, each episode I will be reading any wrestling song, theme, or anything else wrestling related in the most poetic, imaginative, sensitive, or emotional style of expression. And this episode...
Pair of dicks.
This episode was picked by James, our very own James.
Yeah, well, I'm your biggest fan.
Beautiful smile over there.
I am. I'm your biggest fan. I told you this from the start.
So you're embarrassing.
I know.
Embarrassing me, you are.
That's
Shit
I
story.
personally asked
Staring bastard.
above all the audience listening if I could go first because I love this so much.
I've had a few requests on this.
Just get on with it.
Right, okay.
This one's going to be amazing.
Enjoy this one because the next episode you get 2.
Oh, God.
Right. This song is actually by Bret the Hitman Hart, The Excellence of Execution. Okay.
Fuck.
He is a 5-time WWF champion. Yes, tag team champion.
Didn't he say that he had the ability to be the next Brian Adams?
There was word. There was.
Off.
Yes, it was said he was going to be the next Brian Adams after this song was released.
Oh.
Now, unfortunately, this song didn't make it into the charts.
What a fucking surprise.
And
That's a travesty.
It is.
It's fucking not.
It is from the WrestleMania album. Okay. It is called. It's the romantic ballad called "Never Been a Right Time to Say Goodbye."
Didn't Bret have this personally written for him?
I thought he wrote it himself.
Did he?
I don't know.
I thought there was a story that someone said that Bret, in your notes, that Bret actually asked if he could have this.
Oh, he may have, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, his own song.
Yeah.
If he wrote this or if someone wrote this for him.
He should have performed this at a WrestleMania. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Are you ready?
Cunt.
There's,
Sorry.
there's no way to make this easy.
No, there ain't.
I know we've gone through some good and some troubled times. If I stay, she'll only see right through me. Look of shame inside my eyes. I'd rather turn away. Because the things you're going to say will break my heart and make me cry. There has never been a right time to say goodbye.
This is fucking beautiful.
Fuck off.
Lies will only hurt her. She'll end up crying. I'd sooner walk away and let her love again. There's never been a right time to say goodbye.
He's a real man.
There's never been a lie There's never been a sigh. Let's head down easier. There's never been a right time to say goodbye. I'd rather turn away and see her hurt today. I know she'll end up crying. There's no denying. There's never been a right time to say goodbye.
That's beautiful, Jonny.
Things you're gonna say. No, I won't sing that bit. But yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's beautiful.
Oh my God, just get on with the topic.
Oh, I need a moment to kind of just catch my breath.
Yeah, that's really emotional. That was
I might
fucking
write
gorgeous.
letters,
That
Bret
was. Oh, it's,
I'm going to send him an email.
Oh my God.
that'll probably put a smile on his face. He's fucking really angry all the time.
Pair of dicks.
Oh dear. Right. Oh, okay. So now, with it being WrestleMania season, my top 3 topic will be the top 3 most underrated WrestleMania matches of all time.
Nice.
And sticking with WrestleMania, my best and worst moments will be the very best and the very worst celebrity involvement at a WrestleMania. And also, my poetic reading will be WrestleMania the single and an extra double whammy.
Ugh.
I don't know if I'm going to read this one yet, or I might even rap it.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
God.
It's going to be the WrestleMania 10 rap by Men on a Mission.
Ah,
We've got Stars Galore, we've got Stars
I remember
Galore.
that.
You're going to see a show like never
yeah,
before.
that's amazing.
The Mission have the titles and we will win, but we're all going to rock WrestleMania 10.
Well, you pretty much done it.
No, that's nothing.
No, that's it.
You
Yeah.
need. No, I don't think that should be wrapped. I think that needs some real soul through written
Some soul.
proper soul. I think
I
rap.
don't know what that was.
I'm not against rap at all, but I don't think it does it justice. I think it needs some real soul.
I need some soul. Yeah.
And not forgetting our most important topic, which is Danhausen Watchhausen.
Danhausen, Watchhausen.
He's injured.
I'll keep you posted.
You can go on Cameo. He's always on there.
So we've got our topics, our best and worst, my singing and my rapping, Danhausen,
Watchhausen.
and
I want because this is going to be quite quick. This one, isn't it? Like, there's not
Yes.
much time.
No.
I want a soul. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick something if you can all watch it,
Okay.
right? And we'll all watch it separately and make our conclusion on it, right? We are going to go, we've talked about this before, because we're going to go with WCW
Oh,
here,
God, I know
right?
where this is going.
And we're going to go with the Monster Truck match
I quite
from
like this
Halloween
Not where I thought it was going.
1995.
I quite
Okay.
like this. I'm going to bring out some really weird ones.
Yeah.
All right.
Sex Leppers.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So,
So there we go.
yeah.
Yeah. No.
Thanks ever so much for tuning in, and thanks always for getting involved. And please keep getting involved.
Get involved.
We love it. Much thanks as well again to
Our sponsors.
Yep,
Corey McRae.
Corey McRae.
World War Wrestling
Easy Way Merchandise.
and 3 Counts Wrestling.
Yep.
Boom.
Go and check them all out.
Checking them out.
Thanks a lot, everyone. It's goodbye from me, Stu.
It's goodbye from me, James.
And it's goodbye from me, Jonny.
See you later.
Bye-bye.